So I ended up getting some noodles and some teriyaki chicken skewers and a couple of Mirinda. The Mirinda bottles are smaller than usual, so I got 2 of them just in case. Bismillah. Bismillah.
Oh my god, the Facebook gaming shit pissed me off last year. Like, oh, here's a disabled person in Kazakhstan that can fucking play games now. Great for him. Let me fucking see my video games.
Go on out. Jesus Christ, hello. Dude, we did it. Dude, don't drink. First of all, Monster is fucking disgusting. I don't know how anyone does that. I gotta check out my BB. Look at him.
Ladies and gentlemen, Garfield and friends.
We're ready to party! We're ready. I hope you bring lots of spaghetti. I'm scared. Come on in, come to the place where fun never ends. Come on in, it's time to party with Garfield and friends. Dancing, fiesta, romancing, siesta, samba, la bamba. Ay caramba, disguises, surprises, and pies of all sizes. Come on in, come to the place where fun never ends. Come on in, it's time to party with Garfield and friends. Come on in, it's time to party with Garfield and friends. Garfield and friends.
And pay attention. There'll be a test at the end.
Alright, well, I can't put this off any longer. So if you're here at the worst possible time. I am literally going to do nothing in this very short stream. We can only hope it's going to be short. This very short final question mark allegedly Nintendo World Championship stream. I have S ranks in all challenges, with the exception of specifically Excite Bike, and only these 3. So I said last time I played, because it was just getting too late, I said I'll wait for a night where I'm distracted and the stream starts super late, and to offset and mitigate it, we will do a short stream where I just finish these and then do the legendary trials, which will probably be the bulk of the stream if I can even get there upon S ranking these challenges. Big ups to the Dingas, Dongas, and the swollen __ ones. I welcome you to another unfortunate swollen __ Dingus stream. Big ups to all the people here, the Dingas, Dongas, and swollen __ ones existing here and now, and the Dingas, Dongas, and swollen __ ones sure to likely not exist in the immediate and far-flung future, considering for most people it's already midnight. Like GPM, Necro13, Algernaut, BR Joe, Juzzy51, the first person here, J Frosty Beats, Golem of Power, and everybody else. 3-hour stream is pretty short by Dingus standards, so we'll let's just not waste no more time. Let's go ahead and start the suffering. Put off Excite Bike for the last game to play, because Excite Bike is a game that makes me want to jump off a building. So let's get started. So Juzzy, this may in fact be the last session of this. And that's the first reset. I did nothing wrong. It's because of the D-pad giving you incorrect, unwanted, unnecessary up inputs. Never trust the D-pad in this game. You also gotta be careful for your turbo. I was not looking at the turbo gauge because I am an excellent gamer. There. Okay, that's not good. You gotta keep your bike parallel to the ground or something like that. I messed up. Load on CRT when I was a kid. Loved the blue and purple bikers. Yeah, there are no challenges with the enemy bikers in this. Well, I don't know what kind of challenge you'd come up for something like that. Run into all of them. So you gotta, you know, we read the cheat sheet on the last session. Basically told you the controls as far as popping wheelies over the hurdles and crashing into all the bikers. Not crashing into all the bikers. Because I'm thinking of the purple bikers. No, how to gain speed off jumps. You gotta keep your bike parallel to the ground when you land to maintain speed. But it's not that simple, believe it or not. One wrong move, and you're hitting L and R to reset. See? And then you gotta hear that? The lovely noise there? Never could do Excite Bike, me neither. I want Excite Bike to go away. Okay, I think I'm good. How's everyone's evening going, man? How's your Dave's Thursday day off going? Shit. You kind of have to be on turbo if you want to meet the time that they give you. Damn it! I suck, eh? Why did I spam so many hills? Like, what do you want me to do, sir? Jesus, man. B++. Hey, Mr. Pun. Welcome to the secret stream. Does it count as a secret stream if it starts at midnight? Damn it. Spent half my day numb and uncomfortable because of the new pill, so I ain't taking them anymore. Oh yeah, you told us about it last night. Unfortunate to hear that it did not help you in any way, shape, or form. I feel like for these ones, you can't even, you cannot risk a rewind. Like, you're not making it if you rewind even once. That's the second time that specific rewind has happened to me. Well, I was gonna do Monkey Ball, Mr. Pun, but then it just got so late that I figured it would have been it just would be a better idea to get this out of the way. If I can even do that. God, that was so bad. Nope. Hey, Sensacroy. Is the green speed, green overlay, green speed but risky run bar your overlay or the game? It's the game. Hey, it's my Mexican Coke. Gives you UNFW and easy money. This is a secret stream. Welcome in. I only have 3 Excite Bike challenges to do. How hard can it be? It's not like they'll progressively get more difficult or anything. Surely not. Alright, that one wasn't too bad, but I rewound twice. No fault of my own, of course. You know, W1 took the Romancing Saga pill. He's gonna be hyped like me for the remake. I saw him play a teensy bit of that the other day. It's another one of those franchises. It's like, wow, I might like that once I get around to it in 20 years. No, some franchises you're just not meant to enjoy on your own. No matter how clear your backlog is, you just never get around to it. So you're just better off consuming it vicariously through Goon. Because Goon likes a lot of those kind of games. So does UNF for that matter. Oh, second time that happened. Third time that happened. Challenge one on Excitebike 64. That's available through the Switch. I've never played that version though. That version also has Excitebike NES on it. Big up Seal. This is gonna be a disaster stream, man. I gotta do the last 3 challenges of this. It's a disaster secret stream. Worst dingus stream ever. Everyone's gonna hate it. But welcome in regardless. Ever tell you how much I hate Excitebike? I don't know what Miyamoto was thinking when he shat out this one. See, why do I flip on that one? Why do I flip on that hill? The trolls can't even explain that one. That's actually slightly worse than my previous time. Big ups for the bananas. You know, Rekida's live now with Dick Masterson, and I was thinking the title's pretty interesting, so I wonder if they're gonna have a Sieve and Cope Fest together, but I don't know what they're gonna cry about. So I have it open. I suppose it wouldn't hurt to take a look-see, look-listen. There's no casino today. Dave had his day off. I was kind of strapped for like, wow, I wonder what we could put on. Like, who's streaming right now? And then, wow, in the sub box, there it was. Nicholas Robert Rekieta is back. And I don't know what he's going to talk about. It might be something fun. It might not be. But the title suggested that he's more than a little upset about stuff. Legal Mindset said stuff about Rekieta's lawsuit earlier, and they're kind of mad about that. Legal Mindset, more like legal dick sucker. Pick up Aqua Saber, 7 stream streak. Having fun with the Speedrunner Light game. Not with these particular challenges, no. I like how I get to listen to my ear get graped every time I hit the turbo. Okay, what's the... It's that specific moment. I just need to know what's the angle I gotta hit. Is it forward then backward? Seems like I keep going backward and that's why I keep taking a tumble. Okay, we'll do this. Because I'm not gonna listen to this bike screech in my ear all night.
Remember,
we have Not Sending Their Best with Dick Masterson. They've been live for about 20 minutes. Yeah, there's a lot of tech to this game that I didn't know about, Seal.
Small law firm in central Minnesota. With me today is a good friend, longtime contributor to the show.
It doesn't matter, Sean. It doesn't matter, Sean.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's going on, man? Dick Masterson here.
How's it going?
It's going, all things considered, it's going okay. It's going okay. I mean,
have you been keeping an emotional journal through this process?
Yeah, I have. It's on my
You've been
Twitter.
journaling? Oh,
I think we all owe Maddox an
I wouldn't
apology.
journal there.
I'm gonna
That's a
say
bad
it.
place to be doing journaling.
It doesn't matter.
Especially when you're on trial, I would say.
It doesn't matter where you journal.
Maddox
anymore.
was right
All
about this
journals-
dude from
all
the
journals
beginning,
are equally
and we all ignored him
accessible
because
to
he
all
was a
people.
cuck.
No, man.
35 seconds, not good enough for us.
I've never journaled. Never been a.
No.
I'm a writer who doesn't.
Maddox is a reader as well,
Story
in
of
his
my
own
life, right?
special way.
I'm a lawyer who doesn't practice, a writer who doesn't write, a streamer who doesn't stream.
Hey, yeah, straight
What's
bandit.
next?
You know, he's still a goof. Okay, I give up. I won't cap for him further then. I don't really, I didn't, digest much of his content outside of the video he made on Dick
No, man,
Masterson.
it's been wild.
Of course, the video he puts out about the situation is going to paint him in a biased
my next
light.
major hearing in my criminal case coming up on Wednesday, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm chomping at the bit. It's been so fucking long that you don't get to say anything for this period of time.
Yeah, you probably should not speak on your legal matters.
By the state, finally.
Yeah, just at least to start. At least to start, we get to Make
What lawyer song do you hum as you're walking in the
Hey,
courtroom
Goki.
to pump yourself
Blame
up?
Anime
Do
Night.
you give yourself like a Law and Order, bum bum, bum, or do you do like a?
No, I just- it's just wet ass pussy.
The trolls wanted to watch Hell.
That's
Hell.
all it is. That's all I play all day because I just thinking about how physically attracted I am to the chair I'm about to sit in and be prosecuted in.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say.
What do you think
how
he's
you're
got in
gonna
that
fuck the
coffee
government,
mug?
But of course you wouldn't say that. So.
It's seltzer water, man.
The government, we can't fuck the government, Dick. You should know this. The government will fuck itself. We won't. We won't ever be able to.
Thank you for the puppy.
Oh, we have a chat quick from Coop says, thank you for not killing yourselves. You too, brother. Thank you. Big ups to that.
Man,
Interesting
my head
super
is so
chat.
big on your stream. My head, look at all. I'm getting really gray. I don't look at myself in the mirror because there's just no need to. But man, I'm losing it.
Weird. I mean, he's always had kind of a big head.
Congratulations to expand on the second. Like, oh, God.
Okay,
Thank you, Jesse.
I can see how it's going.
So you're going
But,
in Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday is my contested omnibus hearing, so it's all like all pre-trial shit that you
Okay.
get to fight the government on, and then theory also I could take a plea deal. I guess.
Oh yeah, I saw it. It was pretty good.
That is possible. That is if they've offered me one. Dun dun dun. Since
I gotta be careful with those comments, those comment sections. Sometimes it can be quite the battlefield.
Oh, is that? I'm not. I don't know everything that's going on. I just know that.
Oh, don't worry. Nobody does. They all think they do. It's so fucking funny. Because it's like.
Oh, you're being
guys, like,
sarcastic. They're saying they offered your wife a plea deal, but they didn't.
yeah, well, they did. They offered my wife a plea deal.
So they were
and
right about
everyone's
that,
like,
but you just
"They
said they
did
don't
not
know anything
offer
about your
Nick.
case.
They're gonna get her to roll on him. It's like, okay. I guess that's what happened then.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Because the people who like keep commenting with so much authority about what's going on, there are people who in the past, if they would have just asked, I would have probably told them.
Oh yeah.
What was going on, and now they're out there just like freaking out about it, and they're being like, "This is what's next."
thank you for the
Like, no,
currency
that's
exchange.
That's not it at all.
Does Nick have custody of the kids? I hope not. The kids did come back, Ashtray Bandit. He did get custody once more.
Boys, that guy.
They were already staying with, I believe, extended relatives.
He puts the limp in pimp limp.
Oh yeah, he has a limp.
Oh, dude, it's.
I don't know anything about that guy. He
But
just
as
seems to
Jersh
be
explained it
the,
on one of his shows,
he seems to be
they
on
did
the
go back to
popular side
Nick
of the
with
law.
supervision,
Every
I
time
believe.
hear
And
from
the
him,
supervision
he's
is the
like,
grandparents
this
moving in.
is,
Apparently, this is from what I'm to understand. That's the situation
You can
now.
also find him on Fresh and Fit. Hello, fellow Chads.
Yeah.
But apparently the foster system in this country is so fucked, which I completely believe, by the way, that it's still more worth it for the safety and sanctity of the children to put them back with their original parents rather than put them in the system.
This has been one of the most interesting parts of
Outside of the most
my
extreme of
case for me is
scenarios, this
watching,
is how
like,
I
again,
how Jersh had described
I know,
it.
like all the filings, like I have the discovery, I have all that stuff. Now it took a while. At first, I didn't. They didn't serve me fucking anything. For my first hearings that I had with the child custody part of it, they didn't tell us we had a hearing.
No, no body cam footage yet.
Like, I found
Big up
out
Zelda.
the day we had.
Apparently, they were saying the footage is just going to be held until the trial.
3 hours before the hearing, that we had one.
Are they just incompetent, A, B, trying to fuck you, or C, so used to dealing with like poor and retarded people that they just
I think it's like a
don't
psychological
tell
thing for the
people anything
kids.
they
Like
don't-
they're
they
just
can't
going to be
explain it.
scarred even more if you
all
put
the
them in the
above.
system. So unless it's a completely
seriously,
lost
so one
cause
of
with the
the more
parents,
interesting
they
things
always
as we
try
were
to
having a
prioritize just
walkthrough,
getting them back to the parents.
One of the times the government was in my house, they get to come check out your house like whenever you want. When
Just
they
makes
have
me
your
wonder
children,
what the fuck
right?
the foster
Like,
system's
they just
like.
go, oh well, if you want to ever see them again, it's amazing.
That's
how
great,
they
man.
just
That's
gun to your head the whole time. They're like, oh, you want us to come over to your house right now? You want us to do that? It's like, yes,
Right now.
please. Actually, I would love it if you just walked around.
Big ups
in it.
Noel over promising and under delivering. Now, to be fair, that was at no fault of his own. The police department
But, one of
fucked
the
and
times-
felted him.
Now, did I read that right?
Yeah, kids are back home.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, see, look, there it is. He
Full
just said it for you.
time. My parents didn't move in.
Oh,
Neither
I got
did
debunked on
Taylor's
that.
Parents.
Because he
The
said so.
rumor- Dude, so
Jesus
our
Christ,
first.
look at my neck. Look at this.
Yeah, it was well.
My
look
razor
like-
broke, and
Your
my
razor broke?
my clippers.
You look
'Cause
like
I gotta-
Sweeney Todd fucking razor
I know,
broke.
man. What the fuck?
You look like that chicken
My wife did
Beetlejuice.
that to me in my sleep because I said something. I was like, I don't really like that. Those pajamas.
I deserve that. It was a good run until I had that last second crash.
My clippers broke, and I had already jacked off, so I didn't want to go looking through my house for.
Unless that was for me being wrong about Ricadas, which I also deserve it for that too. Was kids find a better home living with their than live with the parents because you surely have to be disgusting parents to let your children be around cocaine amongst other things like starving. It's indefensible, but apparently the legal system decided that there was still some hope in Ricada.
The first lawyers
Like, is it
that we had
impossible?
were appointed attorneys.
No.
Because again, so you get out of jail.
Miracles
and
can happen.
They, like I said, they didn't serve us any of the documents related to the child custody case. So we had no idea. We started
I'm not saying I'm over here hoping or anything.
About
I'm not.
some hearing that was
I guess.
coming
Well,
up.
I guess you can
And
say
we're
I
like,
hope.
what
I
is the
hope
hearing
the
for? We're like, we
children
don't know.
have a good life
Why, like, what
and
are you
don't get
talking about
too
a hearing for?
scarred
We
from this
don't know anything about
experience.
it. And,
But
we
am
couldn't
I
look it up
hoping?
because you can't
Do I
look up child
believe
custody stuff. They have
that
all the
Ricada's
answers
will
protected.
can
But there
overpower
wasn't even a
that of
hearing
his
listed
own
at the time we were
vices?
supposedly having a hearing. So then the government shows up at my house and they're like, "Oh yeah, you coming to the hearing today?" It's
Probably
like, "Are
not
you
something that's
coming
gonna
to
happen.
The hearing today, the one about your kids, and it's like, yes. What the fuck? I said, when are you gonna actually service the papers? They said, well, we don't have to. And it's like, well, I mean, you kind of do
it though.
Yeah. You kind of have to, except they don't because they just have your children and they don't have to do anything. Like you, and then you have to fight for it.
Yeah.
And the leverage that they always have is, okay, you can fight, but we'll just make it take longer.
Yeah.
And one of the, but it just you mentioned
absolutely,
part
yeah.
B, where
Every
you're
kid
just so
deserves a
used to
safe
dealing with
home.
People who are like dumb or don't
I
speak
question the
English or
decision.
whatever.
They
Not
truly
used to the legal
think
system.
having them with Ricada is just better than just putting them in the system.
We're just not used to dealing with people. In your
I question their
socioeconomic status.
reasoning in that, but
Yeah, because you're not supposed to. Like,
either they have more faith in Ricada or they have seen
I said,
stuff
probably because I didn't stab
that
someone
suggests
to
that
meth.
it's not over for Ricada and there's a
the other
path to
people you're dealing
redemption.
with is the people who stab
It's pretty
people
hard for me to believe in that.
drugs or whatever. Like what you guys have done is bullshit.
Yeah, because the government exists to deal with poor people, lady. That's like, do you guys? Nobody told you guys that, but that's the reason why we have this.
Oh, that was great. This whole saga gets fantastic, but and eventually I get to tell the whole story. But for now, like the first lawyers we had were appointed at the hearings that we didn't know we had. We got there. Our lawyers had nothing prepared. They hadn't read our
Womp
complaint.
womp.
We didn't get to see our complaint. I didn't see our complaint until the second hearing.
Wow.
So just so everybody's aware of
You
that.
know what you're getting accused of
No.
with your kids, having to do with your kids?
Nope. At the first hearing, I had not even seen the government.
Oh, you're right. They would have to prove it
against us.
separately for
Then
both
at the
Nick and
second
Kayla.
Hearing, I finally get to read them, and I'm reading them over my lawyer's shoulder. Who, our lawyers, they're like, "Oh, we want to do a continuance at this first hearing. We'll give us 10 days to prepare a case." And we got there 10 days later after the continuance. And because they first said, they're like, well, who are your witnesses and what are your exhibits? I'm like,
Now, what's interesting was on the last Mad at the Internet. So again, this is reported by Jurge, so take it with a grain of salt. But he basically just takes everything from the threads of people doing the actual research on Ricada. But apparently, Ricada made a mistake when he was last at court, where he thought, what was it, like you can't use witness testimony as proof that he's an unfit parent, and he tried to debunk that. But in reality, specifically in Minnesota, where he's at, he's a small town lawyer in Minnesota. When it comes to these kind of cases, family law and whatnot, witness testimony in these extreme cases is actually viable and allowed. It's admissible in court due to it's a special exception. Like usually we don't just accept just random people just saying like, oh yeah, Ricada's bad parent. But in cases like this, family law specifically, actually in the state of Minnesota, it is allowed, and Ricada did not know that, so he tried to argue, no, you can't use that because it's not admissible. But and then the judge kind of told him off. This is allegedly what happened. Allegedly, hearsay. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Hearsay. I said witness testimony by mistake. Yes, hearsay. Hearsay not applicable in law in the courtroom. with the exception in this case of family law in the state of Minnesota.
No, I've been in jail. Like,
Right, character references are important for family court.
It has to show a dangerous environment. There's nothing.
Hey, Black Mage, why did you do the cow on screen? Good question.
Like, well, let's
They're gonna complain about legal mindset, I hear.
10 days, and then we'll do it. So we're like,
this is your day off content for me.
I show up to court, and my lawyer looks at me and she goes, "What are your exhibits and where are your witnesses?"
No, I like the idea that Robert Barnes is Better Call Saul.
And I said, "Excuse
Paul
me,
Barnes.
that's your fucking job." Like, and I had been in contact with this woman. Like, I had spoken with her between hearings.
Barnes be like, "It's your constitutional right to give your children cocaine."
In that time,
I don't know what exhibits she would have done, but like, this is her thing was, let's do a continuance so we can get some exhibits and witnesses together.
Okay.
I had the same witnesses. Actually, I didn't have the same witnesses because I think I would have had another witness at the first hearing than I was able to have. But I had the same witness list of potential people, and the exhibits were the same, which is the government has to show. That's the exhibit, is the government has to show something. I don't have to show anything. There's not like an exhibit I can show you to show that something didn't happen. So I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? And they had no preparation done for the case. They hadn't talked to a single witness. They barely had talked to me. They hadn't prepared an exhibit. They hadn't read any reports. They had nothing. I had to effectively represent myself.
If kids can't have cocaine, then why do I call this country free?
Those two lawyers
Good point.
get appointed to every
Probably what
child custody case in
Ricada
the county.
actually
Every
believes.
single one gets one of those two
so
lawyers.
if they argue too much, they lose business.
I wouldn't allege that. That would be insane to allege that the hand that feeds them is the government who chooses to appoint them to every single case, and that's their exclusive
You live in like
practice.
Hazard County? What the fuck is going on there? How are two lawyers in charge of all the child custody shit?
There's not that many people in the county. The total people in the county is about 50,000.
He does call himself a small town lawyer from Minnesota.
Yeah.
So like
that's the reason that the county is, you know, pretty small.
Small the actual population is, but all of them. All I could think though is like, well, I'm a lawyer who speaks English, and so I know what's fucking going on. Like,
I thought this was America. I thought I was just allowed to give my children
we have a
cocaine.
pretty high Hispanic population, a pretty high Somali population. I can't imagine how fucked over they get by these lawyers. Because I'm sitting there like. So one of the things I mentioned online that people kind of misunderstood, I asked my lawyer, unrelated to what we had going on in any of the particular court hearings, but I asked my lawyer to get a recording for me. I said, I'm entitled to that recorded conversation. And she said, they don't usually like to do that. Yeah, this is...
It's probably under 35
joking.
for the time.
When I said, the government has a recorded conversation with me and I want it because I can have it, she goes, they don't usually like to do that. And I said, it's required by law that they give me that conversation that they have.
It's such an odd way to phrase that.
So I said, your job is to get that. So ask for it. And I asked for it, and they didn't give it to me for fucking ever. They actually did not respond to my lawyer's request. It was true. They didn't like doing that. Yeah. But she's like, well, why do you want
it's
this
not even 34
seconds.
seconds.
Well, because they might want to use something
I'm getting
I
better
said
at
in the
it.
conversation.
I'm memorizing the track.
And I want to make sure that if they do that, we're able to counter with what was actually said, because I know what I said, and I know how the government works. They'll take something out of context. This is called the rule of completeness. And she goes, what's that? And I said, I'm sorry, what? What's the rule of completeness? She says, yeah. And I said, well, if they use like a piece of evidence against you, like a portion, like let's say you write a book and they use one sentence out of the book, but there's surrounding paragraphs that make the sentence kind of important or change the meaning of something. The rule of completeness allows you to introduce enough evidence to complete the actual fact that you're going with. And she goes, in all my years of practice, I've never heard of the rule of completeness.
You're busy making funny one-liners. We're never going to escape this game. I'm sorry, Jesse.
God. God.
I haven't even really been. It's not
She
even been a
has-
month since
she
this
had
game came
no
out, Jesse.
idea.
What are you
She
talking
didn't know
about?
the actual rules of evidence, the basic rules of evidence that exist. None.
There are
She did
longer
no
forever
preparation,
playthroughs going on
didn't
right now
talk
besides this
to,
one.
didn't talk to me about the case at all. Didn't do anything.
Yeah.
It was
You got
fucking,
paid though.
not by me, thank Christ.
Yeah, by the government. That's fucked, man.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it's been fun. It's been especially
Imagine being a
fun,
Karen in the
because,
courtroom.
there's this Kiwi Farms account
Uh-oh.
that's out of public records, and they keep releasing documents from my
Hey,
case.
I've seen that account.
And then
Yeah.
what
Josh has
happened
done
is,
segments
like,
with
the
them.
case got sealed, so they ran out of documents to release, so they had to break up the last one into multiples because they're like. But the thing is, they're milking
Okay,
this.
so it's not a cop? I figured that was a cop. I guess if they don't have access anymore,
Of course, Dick Masterson knows about the account.
I have no idea who it might be. None at all. None. But no. So the thing is, they only have access to a couple documents, and then they don't have any more, and so. They've been trying to milk this last one, which means that.
How come he didn't have any problems with his local legal processing when he was a lawyer? Because he wasn't the one getting prosecuted.
Okay. So they're really fucking everybody up because they're
right,
on a time delay now.
And the funny thing is, they're like, "Oh, this is stupid. This is really gonna fuck me over." And it's like, wait, but like, I know my kids are back.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. I don't want to be a doomer about it, but depending on how things go,
like, oh,
it could be a
Nick's really gonna
DSP
get
thing
fucked
where
by
he
this.
just
Like, well, that
gets
didn't
away with
happen.
it.
Funny thing is, I know it didn't happen because I remember when the hearing occurred.
Oh, they're back and free and clear. There's no more kid thing at all. So all of that was for no reason. All of it. Like all of this hysteria over your case amounted to nothing.
There's a statute that says if a controlled substance is located in a home with children, the children are presumed to be in danger and need to be removed until the danger is resolved. That's different from child endangerment, the crime. The crime of child endangerment would have the requisite intent and knowledge aspects of criminal law attached. So here's the thing. In our case, a search was conducted of our home, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that the search was necessarily valid, but that's a court argument. But a search was conducted of our home, and during
I'll
that
be right
search,
still.
the
I just got, it's
county
like that, you know, you get that bad
alleges
feeling in
they
the pit of
found
your
a controlled
stomach.
Substance. That alleged controlled substance, has not been tested or weighed by the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension in Minnesota yet.
Really,
So they
Jesse? I didn't hear
actually
that.
Don't know that they have a
Fucking
controlled
everyone's taking
substance.
shots at
Their
DSP
field
now,
testing
right?
is inadmissible to show the
That
presence of a
Squid Man
controlled
made a video.
substance.
I think his name
So
was
it's
Megon.
admissible for the
I saw it. It was pretty good.
purposes of,
Not the first time he's talked about
establishing
DSP, but
some level
a
of
good
cause,
video.
right? It goes into the
You can
factors
tell
for
like people
establishing
are fighting
probable cause.
about the Kino Casino
they
thing
haven't
and
actually tested it yet.
all the
So
fallout from
they don't
that.
know the
People are paying
actual
attention to
weight
Phil again.
of the alleged
That brief
controlled
period when
substance.
Asmon
They don't
Gold
know
and
the
Moist Man were
actual
doing
chemical
videos on him.
composition of the alleged controlled substance. But during their field testing, it field tested positive for what would be a controlled substance, and based on that, they have the grounds to emergency place the children out of the
okay,
home,
Jesse.
which is what they did.
Yeah.
There are no other grounds for the removal of my children from my house. So despite the kvetching online, there was not actually any finding of child maltreatment or malnourishment or neglect or abuse. None of that actually
All
has
that I'm
happened.
hungry shit. Yeah.
That was all. But I tried to tell people early on.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of his other videos that aren't about DSP. Yeah, he does good stuff. I saw more of his stuff back in the day when he was
they say they're hungry,
like doing IBS sector stuff.
They say it while they're eating. They say I'm starving. I don't want to. They say I'm hungry. I don't want to eat that.
Yes, and when this story eventually gets told, and it's so much fucking worse than I can express. Yeah. But I have.
Yeah, it's so. Speaking of so much worse, it's so much worse than them saying they didn't have clean clothes or that they were hungry. They had cocaine in their system.
Great thing is when I get to tell it, I have.
Oh yes, but laboratory tests are unbelievable, and it's a federal cover-up and conspiracy.
I have it all to back it up. So,
well, you gotta wait till the end.
It's a federal conspiracy at a local governmental level.
Yeah, it's also the felony charge.
Make it make sense.
The other part of it, but no, this whole thing. with you know, your kid says
You
you're
either
hungry.
have to be out of prison or in prison to tell a story. You don't want to. You don't want to. You know, no one wants to tell their story and then go to prison. Like, ah, shit, I already told my story. I got nothing to do in here now.
Family Services ignored all of those reports. All the reports that said that the kids were hungry
rent check.
or
Ah, yes, yes. The
which is
kids got the cocaine on their own.
If you have any concept
Where
of
Ricada
how
got it
many
from, they got it
clothes
from
we
school
have,
or something, then introduced Ricada
guys
to it. The
don't-
kids were to blame.
my kid's
Just ask
closet
Ethan Van
looks like a
Sciver.
fucking Goodwill. Like it's just racks.
And now they're gonna say that, you know.
God, I'm terrible at
they're gonna say
Excite Bike,
that's
man.
'cause your home's in squalor.
I bet DSP made this look so
Yeah,
easy.
No, I get it. It's fine. It's but it doesn't. It's like what people.
It's so fucked up.
There's a myopia of. I'm gonna say this. It sounds rude, but there's a myopia of poverty, is what I call it. I've coined it, and it's
Okay.
when people. It's not necessarily financial poverty. It's poverty of anything. Poverty of information, experience, education doesn't matter. But the myopia of poverty is when your experience is so far removed from some other experience that you can't fathom the situation that must be occurring.
Oh,
And so
yeah.
you apply your own situation into it. So what people hear is they hear there was lots of laundry on the ground and they go, man, if I had lots of laundry on the ground, it would look like X. And it's like,
Yeah.
and then I wouldn't have laundry to wear. It's like, oh, no. You don't understand how many clothes our children have. We have a 16-year-old
Yeah, and they're all
down to
dirty.
a 6-year-old, which means we have hand-me-down. Oh, and my wife comes from a huge family. We have hand-me-downs for days. We have new clothes for days. Like our kids have just fucking tons of clothes, and we don't really get rid of them between the two ages because you save up. Like when one kid grows out of some stuff, you save it because the next kid's going to grow into it. So
Right.
and you start getting rid of the stuff at the youngest levels, but in the meanwhile, you have a bunch. And so, yeah, was there a bunch of laundry in the house? Absolutely. It was incidentally, it was sorted into piles so that it could be washed in the laundry room that it was adjacent to. But hey, who's counting? That being said,
Sound like a Goodwill.
yeah, it kind of does.
I think that would have been it,
Less,
but at the last second I
less people
overheated.
Don't speak English
Shit.
in it.
Yeah.
But no, the whole interesting thing.
Okay,
about it,
guys,
though,
they
is
had a lot of
despite
cocaine,
all of
but
all of the
they
wheels-
had clean
remember,
clothes, like,
my
honestly.
house was called an overall dirty home because it had dust on the vents.
Oh, it's fucking cops.
Oh, I know. It's so fucking fun.
I mean, I don't wanna
It's like
breathe in
there's on
dust.
the vents. Okay, but all of that stuff about the hungry kids, the not having clothes, and all that was all ignored by CPS. It was all ignored entirely because
I don't know
there's
if
no
I believe
basis
that.
to it. And as they did their investigation, which their initial
It was
thing when
awfully
they hear this
convenient. They
is,
just
"Oh my
ignored
God," right?
everything.
They did their investigation and continued to find
ignored
that there
everything
was
that
no
made you look
basis for
bad?
any of it. In
They-
fact, what
they didn't
found
ignore
was
the
5
cocaine.
children who are all above average height, above average weight, above average intelligence, who do very well in their studies.
Guided by the emblems.
Sav Raid. Now wait a minute. Hold up. Shut up, Ricada. I'll rewind a little bit. Thank you, Kinda Sav. The massive 20-person raid. Whoa. Welcome to the 1 a.m. chill stream. Ricada, Nicholas Robert Ricada, Lawyer Man Guy, is live on Dark Dave's Dark Side's Dark Thursday Day Off. I'm celebrating, obviously, by doing the restream. This is the restream of the evening, sir. This is the content. You're getting nothing else. Hey, Geriatrics. It's only 11 p.m. I wish it was only 11 p.m. But yeah, thank you for the raid. I'm just gonna be chilling here. I got 3 challenges left to do, all from Excite Bike in this stupid game. I haven't even beaten one yet. I'm gone as soon as these challenges are done, meaning we could be here until 4 in the morning. And then I still got this master legendary challenge afterward, where I have to do all the challenges all in a row, all on S rank.
Who are all above average height, above average weight, above average intelligence.
Yeah, he's going to
who do
core
very well
geriatrics.
in their studies,
It's over.
Who are wildly involved, or their parents are wildly involved in their lives.
The trolls won.
Every single fucking interview that they had said one thing over and over. These kids.
You guys
really
are coming
love
in
their
at the right
parents.
time.
The parents
He's talking
really
about
love
how
the kids, and the
CPS
parents are
ignored the
always
stuff about
around
the kids not
for the
being fed
kids.
or
They're
having
always
dirty
there with
clothes. They
everything.
just didn't care about
Kids are
that,
involved in tons of
apparently.
stuff. And in all of that, they're like, yeah, the only thing they ever had was there were drugs allegedly present in the home during this search. So
Yeah.
once those were removed, it was a matter of.
Oh, stop, Sam. My
Yeah,
scores
that-
suck.
That's an interesting story.
DSP probably got better
It's a
times than
very
me.
interesting story, and it got more interesting recently.
Yeah. Yeah. It could only be interesting when 1 out of 5, the middle kid, has co-care tests. They're not. I mean, you know.
That's not the middle one. It's the next to. It's the next.
Oh, it's
to
the next to youngest.
He's trying to sweep for him. He can't even get the details right.
How you doing, dude?
What's
Thanks,
funny,
Mickey
though,
Joe. I'm
is
doing
that
great. Thank you for
despite
asking.
that, the county never actually alleged that the child had done cocaine.
Yeah.
Or ingested it in any way. And
Well, they deal
didn't
with
even
facts, not
allege that we exposed the child to
The facts are that they had cocaine in their system.
Here's why they can't. Hair follicle test.
Thank you for the Ralph Mail shuffle. Look at him go! When was the last kill stream? I don't even know. I haven't checked his Rumble in forever because watching Ralph makes me want to cry. I'm sure Ralph's doing great. He's probably sleeping right now. He sleeps like, what? 12 hours out of the day? And the other 12 he's just streaming nonstop?
And it's interesting. It's almost like maybe.
Hey, Lost
Maybe
Technicolor.
there is,
Arcade in semantics
actual
mode. It's
explanation
precisely
for how
why
that
I'm tuning
happened.
in.
That'll get brought up at some point soon.
Oh, well.
But I know what didn't happen. I know that Lady Rackets and I never.
I know 9-year-old's not doing rails. That's what I know.
I know that, but I also know.
Quite a lot of people seem to be upset that they were brought up on Casino. Ricada and Cog did like a whole 5-hour Siege stream about DSP last night as revenge for being brought up by PvP. PvP told the DSP about Cog and explained all the lore, all the relevant lore anyway.
Those children
And Cog
were
was
never
not a
exposed
fan
to
of
any
that.
illegal substances.
Yeah.
Ever. Another thing that's fun is like people. I mentioned that at one of our hearings, and they're like, "Why would Nick say that? Is he
Yeah, revenge as much as Cog can do. Just a 5-hour stream where he watches, I don't know,
If you're gonna do null, he's got
DSP clips.
Sound fatter.
So basically a dingus stream.
They're sending their best pedophiles over there at Kiwi Farms. They're sending some of the. They're sending
the convicted ones.
Pretty defamatory thing to say about the farms there. I'm no lawyer, but like,
pedophiles out on these ops, on these pedo ops. You got to send the ones that don't have pedophile records.
If they,
oh man,
if they were to
34.83.
read just a little bit before that line, because there's a line that I said in court, and I said
Masterson is only there to sweep up for him.
that
Seal.
the children
That's all
had
it is.
stated that if they were exposed, it would be from someone else.
Yeah.
The only reason I stated that line
We
is
call
'cause
this
that's what the state wrote.
damage control in the business.
State wrote that down in their complaint.
He's getting his broom out.
I was reading that line from the complaint. My children were all interviewed by 2 government workers with no parents, no grandparents, and no attorney present.
Yeah.
Not even a guardian ad litem was present.
They got taken out of the home when the cops showed up.
Yes.
I mean, I know it always needs to be repeated, but cops are extremely incompetent.
Actually, they got taken out of the home when the cops showed up, and then they were brought back into the home several times during the search.
Flying around, really? Good job. Good job,
during the
officers.
search-
Rock and cock knuckles.
During the search, the children were brought into and out of the home several times.
Great.
I didn't know this because I was not there.
Yeah, it's the shit around the hair test is so aggravating because people just have no idea. It's not a piss test. It's hugely environmental. They cannot filter out. This is me saying it. I mean, I don't know the implications of even being on a stream with you, but I know a lot about drug testing, and the hair test is just total garbage because anything in the environment can set it off at any moment, and they cannot wash
How
it
are
off.
all these
They
guys
can't wash it
experts
off.
on
They
drug
can't
tests
determine
all of a
what's been
sudden?
ingested and
Like,
what's been
just because
gotten
you've taken them a
along
lot
your
doesn't
hair
mean
from a
you know how
butterfly
they
or
work. Ralph was the
it's
same
amazing.
way. But I've never heard Ralph like flex his
reason
knowledge
that I
on drug
mentioned that,
tests
like, people are
before
like,
any
"Well,
of this
what's he-
started
what's he trying to
happening.
say?" I'm like,
But
I'm
now he's a
trying to
drug
say
test expert.
That according to the complaint, the government filed, the children who they independently interviewed with no possible parental influence all said that they've never seen drugs, they've never seen their parents intoxicated in any way, and they have never, and if any exposure were to have happened, it would have come from contact with someone else. That's what they said. Actually, though, what I've learned is that that line that the government put in their complaint was a lie. Not a single child said that. That line was sort of fed to them by a county worker.
Oh.
Yeah, a county work, because it's not something 6-year-olds tend to say, or 8-year-olds, or 11-year-olds, or 13-year-olds, or 16-year-olds. It's just not their normal experience to say that. But it is a county worker who tried
apparently it's
to
just
get
cool that
them
Ricada
to
has
say
cocaine powder lying
what they
around.
wanted them to say. And again, and people are like, "Oh my God!"
Even the
Nick's saying all
CPS
this
agents
stuff about these
agreed.
people.
Everyone agreed with
sure hope
Ricada.
his, does he know about defamation? It's all recorded, guys. All this shit's recorded. I'm very fucking confident in saying all of it because it's all recorded.
True. They've come in multiple times while he was drunk on stream.
But the kids never actually said that. The government put that in their complaint and it wasn't true. Shocker. But that's the reason that I said it in court was because, hey, you even say in your complaint that the alleged victims, the children, have never witnessed any of this. In fact, they didn't ever present a single witness who had. Not one.
Big
Not
up, Scoon.
one witness was able to ever say that
We got 3 challenges left in Excite Bike, just like I told you.
Engaged in any illegal
I'm here until they're
activity
beaten.
at all. Not a single witness presented by the state in our family case was put on record for that. No one was brought up at all. It's amazing. It's amazing. So yeah, when people are like, Nick's never getting his kids back and all this
It's
stuff.
amazing
Like,
that they have to take your kids away for a month for like something this retarded.
Whoa, this is a vow, man.
have to.
Oh, they don't have to?
No, they could have returned them right away.
Ah.
Because okay, so let's go through the steps.
Okay.
Allegedly, they found this substance, and I say allegedly because again, it has not been tested. No testing has been done by the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension in Minnesota.
Yeah, right.
So, the government hasn't even performed their own tests on it. So allegedly, they found this substance that they believe merits an emergency placement. Well, we can presume that the county sheriff's department does a fantastic job and removes all of the dangerous things when they do a search. So, their entire basis for keeping our kids longer was someone might commit a crime at some point in the future. And
What?
we were asked to prove that a future crime would not be committed.
I feel like this isn't the whole story.
Good fucking question. Because when you ask them, what do you need? Because that's all we asked the whole time. What do you need? What do you need? What do you need?
Yeah.
What do you need? They didn't have answers. They never have an answer. Because how do you answer that?
Yeah, what do you got?
They go, well, we want to make sure it doesn't happen again. It's like, yeah, we're with you on that. What do you need? What do you want us to do? Want to come look in our house? You want to go search through every fucking thing? What do you need? Just tell us. What do we need to do to show you that the home is safe for the children? And they couldn't. They didn't have anything. The problem was they couldn't tell.
What do we
us
need?
wasn't
We
safe.
need more
Because
cocaine.
The only thing was the alleged substances, and those were removed. So
You shouldn't have had them in
just
the
to be
first
clear to
place,
everybody out
big
there,
man.
That's not an admission that there were alleged substances. That's what the county has stated. That's what we're charged with. The government has to prove.
But don't worry, it was just
all
the cops
sorts of
planning
things
it,
about
surely.
those substances, and that's what the criminal trial is for. They have not done
Man, you
so.
got so many retarded people listening to your case. You got to qualify even the most like basic, obvious shit, and they still just take it and lie about it. It's crazy.
Oh, it's amazing. They've said that I've like
Dick
alleged
Masterson,
that,
he gossips
the
like he's a
police
high
have planted
schooler.
stuff or whatever. It's like I've never said anything even fucking close to that. But people just they take two different things, they conflate them together, and this is something I've noticed. Kiwi Farms is a game of telephone, and it's a confirmatory
Petaphone?
game of
Sorry, did you
telephone.
say petaphone?
Yes, Petaphone.
Petaphone, yeah.
Hilarious.
It's where someone on Kiwi Farms.
All
will
of my
one
enemies are
File says to
PDFs.
another. Yeah.
Is this
pedophile says to
a
the
line of
next,
attack we're
somebody
going with?
misunderstands something either intentionally or unintentionally, and then that thing gets adopted.
How's that any
as what-
different from
what
leftists
happened.
calling all of their
And then it
enemies
becomes this
Hitler
confirmatory
and
circle
Nazis?
jerk, and they just keep going back and forth. It's like, and then it becomes their canon. So people, including Josh, who was willing to put in an affidavit that I said police planted stuff in the house, like, Josh, I never said that.
Dude, he's gotten really retarded. And anything that has to do with you or I, or I guess Vito, I don't know. He's like,
Well, speaking of PDFs,
That's
Vito was a
my
self-admitted
idea of
one,
property.
so we can go ahead and
Oh,
call
is
him
it?
that all you want.
Yeah,
it's
it's
true.
Something else. He's like, reasonable and has a sense of humor about so many things, but then when it comes to us, he's like, yeah, Nick's alleging that the police are playing. Like, man, what you're saying is, first of all, it's not funny at all, but secondly, it's like wildly retarded, and everyone knows everyone can see it's retarded.
Yeah, and I asked him, I'm like, please show
No,
me where.
I think it's the other way around. I think they see you as the regarded one there.
Show me where. And shockingly, it has not been found, despite all of the best efforts of the world's top men.
Yeah, it's right under the pedophile conviction of that guy you've been harboring on Kiwi Farms for 5 years. Go ahead and lift up Jason Close's pedophile.
Who the fuck are they
conviction,
talking
and
about?
Nick's statement is right under
They
there,
realize
buddy.
they're
Go
on a
ahead and
YouTube
lift
stream
up
with like
the
a couple
pedo.
thousand
You know how
viewers who
Mel's
have
been
no
trying to
idea like
convince
what
everybody that
specific
Vito
Kiwi
is a
Farms
legit
forum user they're talking
pedophile?
about. Like,
So,
no,
yeah,
think about this.
that's
Think about this, because we just had them talk about Steve and Cope about the Minnesota Public Documents account. Like, how many? I without looking at it. You know, it's still Ricada. I know his popularity has dropped, but he probably has at least like 1,000 people there. I want to believe. Why are they arguing about very specific Kiwi Farms forum users that none of these people know about, that they don't go into really any kind of specifics about? They're complaining. It's like a hug box, a cry corner to whine about specific forum users. This would be like, I don't know, if DSP hopped on the pre-stream and dedicated hour-long segments to, again, very specific niche forum users. Like, okay, if he wants to like get on and talk about the big guys who make fun of him, right? He brings up Duty all the time. At least that's sensible from his perspective to at least bring up someone that everybody knows. This is like a very niche site with a very niche user base, very dedicated sector of that niche forum that talks about him. And they're complaining about these specific people. It just makes no sense at all. Let me hop on my 1,000-viewer YouTube stream and complain about one person on this forum, this niche forum that's making fun of me because I have nowhere else I can vent to, because everyone else hates me because I got cocaine into my children's systems. Stereo, I'm 3S ranks away and it's all Excite Bike.
It has not been found, despite all of the best efforts of the world's top men.
Yeah, it's right under the pedophile conviction of that guy you've been
Oh, is that So
harboring on
Ice
Kiwi
Coffee?
Farms for 5 years. Go ahead and lift up Jason Close's pedophile conviction, and Nick's statement is right under there, buddy. Go ahead and lift up the pedo. You know how Noel's been trying to convince everybody that Vito is a legit pedophile? So
he admitted he was one. He made a song about it.
Actually coming from inside the house.
But here's what we got, Stereo.
Was inside the house. No,
dude. When this
Steve's free to go.
Document dump happened, and it showed all the people who did the Freedom of Information Act request.
Yeah, and talk about the Streisand effect too. Like, this is just going to give more attention to the thread that talks about Ricada.
Guess what? Ran someone through a database. The database is Google, and it comes up with the registered offender thing, and the addresses match. The literal first fucking person is a pedophile, and I laugh. I'm like, of course it's a registered pedophile. And so I'm chuckling, and then I look at the request as a volunteer reporter for Kiwi Farms, and I'm like, it could not have happened funnier than that. But it gets funnier. Because I didn't say anything, obviously. My lawyer filed an opposition to having the pretrial hearings.
I get your reservation with believing Noel Cero, but I think he's been pretty spot on with Ricada stuff.
One of the things is to protect the,
True, Jerry. Rackets love Kiwi Farms. Go back to the Vic Lasagna saga.
We've got alleged victims.
He had his whole little fan base on there.
Children, right?
Not to dunk on KF for that, but like he embraced it.
And so my lawyer files the thing and points out, the first person to look into this is a pedophile, and there are children that are presumably protected by the. But
isn't this kind of like deflection, just to say, oh yeah, look, even if it is a PDF, like a PDF just so happens to be the one to look into it. Like, okay, I'm not gonna say who cares because PDFs are scum. That's but I am gonna say, like, maybe we can talk about that in addition to like Ricada here. It's obvious deflection. The gambit here is to say, okay, a PDF just so happens to be the person to look into it, therefore everyone on KF is a PDF and they can't be trusted. It's a long con to discredit the farms in general. Like, I can see what they're doing here. and we can talk about the guy being a PDF, and he probably is a PDF. I don't know, but Jers apparently said it, so I'm willing to believe it. But it's like ultimately irrelevant to the point here. It goes back to what I always say. The message, the messenger doesn't matter so long as it's the truth.
Law, like that's the whole
And Null
point.
is lying about them being a
Oh, and it seems like they're gonna. Okay, before I unpause it, my prediction here is that they're gonna tie it into this. It matters that it's allegedly a PDF who was the first person to look into it, because Rekida's gonna argue that the PDF wants the body cam footage to look at his kids, even though it's been suggested that the kids will be blurred out in the body cam footage.
file and associated with Kiwi Farms.
Oh, that's the funny part. So I don't say. I find this out a couple days ago. I don't say anything publicly because it's like, well, this is gonna get filed, and so it gets filed. What is Null's immediate defense? First, he goes on to Kiwi Farms and he changes the guy's screen name to his real name. So he confirms right there that the guy is actually a Kiwi Farms user.
Yeah, and he's been on there bragging that he's a pedophile the whole fucking time.
Since 2019, yeah. So for 5 years now, the guy's been an open pedophile on Kiwi Farms. Not only that, Null then goes to my locals and he searches for this guy and he sees that he's a quote-unquote member for 2 years. And he's like, no, he's actually a member of Nick's private locals community. And it's like, well, first of all...
So wait, you're mocking him because he's been a Kiwi Farms user for allegedly 5 years. But when it's found out that he's on your locals page for at least 2 years, like, oh no, that doesn't count. That doesn't count. and isn't Noel changing his isn't Noel changing the name to the guy's real name? Isn't that just him doing his due diligence? I'm fucking talking like Porky Pig here, but you get it. Isn't that just him doing his due diligence and corroboration? Just like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, the guy's right. He is a fucko. Fuck him. And it's a bit disingenuous to suggest like Noel was just supposed to know all this shit about his fucking user base. They're bringing up. They mentioned they're hamming in on the 5 years shit because they want you to think that Noel allowed a PDF to just harbor to use that platform 5 years uncontested, when in all likelihood it was just more. It's more likely that, like all of us here, we just didn't know that he was on there. Hey, Amran.
2 years ago, that's weird. That's when a bunch of Kiwi Farms people started having masturbatory fits about my locals page. Yeah. Okay, that's funny. And then I checked.
I actually don't know that,
of course, he's an unpaid member. He never paid a penny. He wasn't. So on locals, you can go and like
money on child porn, I guess, or maybe he gave it to Null for his weird lawsuit that's not happening.
He's homeless and on disability. A Kiwi story. But no, so the funny fucking thing is, he was not actually a member of my locals. He was just you sign up with your email so you can get like updates.
Yeah, I'm on that.
Yeah, you can't chat, you can't comment, you can't do anything members only. But he has over 900 posts on Kiwi Farms, and he's won 25 trophies. He's won trophies for having such a strong like to post ratio.
And he's a known convicted pedophile with 130.
But when was that found out? When did they know that? Like, you can see what they're trying to do. They're gonna use this guy to slander the rest of the forum. And like, fuck them, obviously. But I still see what the gambit is here. And then like Rekida's gonna have Dick Masterson spurg out about it in a second here. Very, very good faith argument.
5 counts of pedophilia.
Like, okay, does this like consider that like does this magically make everything Rekida did? Like, okay, you're innocent now. I guess we gotta let Rekida go.
Yes.
We sure got debunked, guys.
By the way,
one guy on the forum got exposed recently as a PDF.
At a playground and
he was there for 5 years, so we got to pretend like Josh knew for 5 years.
Pedophilia.
And so Null's like, look, he's a member of your community. He's like, nope, not at all, actually.
No, he is a full-fledged member of your community, one of many.
A celebrated one. But here's what's even better. It's almost like Kiwi Farm sends this way to see stuff about a person.
Oh, now we're just gonna show forum posts, I guess. We're this.
500 or more
it's come to this.
A 1-to-1 ratio of likes. Well spoken, over 100 posts with 1-to-1 ratio of likes. Received 250 likes.
So wait, how are they suggesting that Nola's sweeping it up or trying to cover up that this guy existed on the forum when he changed his name to his real name and his lineup photo and all this shit? So obviously he's taking some amount of due diligence to expose this motherfucker now that he's been found out. And he's like a free speech absolutist, so maybe he thought it would be better instead of banning him to just kind of name and shame him so that the other users can just clown on him. I think that's very consistent for Jersh, actually.
Received 100 likes on your post. Received 50 likes. His reaction score is positive. 860.
He's a beloved member of the community, man.
Here's what's really good.
He's their Dennis Hastert.
You can see his postings because Null has this great website where you can see the postings and you can go and read about him and read what he wrote about me, and it's all negative. It's all negative. Going as far back as you want to go, you could just find he first started
Null
commenting
knew all
in
this, by the way. Null knew all of this because this is the same guy that was stalking Tim Pool and all this other shit. This is all wildly out in the open and known.
How does that mean Null knew that he was a convicted
here's
PDF?
the beginning of his chat history. Come on.
What is this Tim Pool stuff? They didn't mention that.
Kiwi Farms are on a little slow right now.
It's
like the special kid in line for mac and cheese.
Because Hurricane Electric was worried about child pornography.
So he's talking about Alejandra Carabello. That's a
Hey back,
trainee
Alley Minion.
lawyer.
He's just having a
Who
coke
hates
stream
me,
with
by
Dick
the way. That's
Masterson
funny.
about this one specific Kiwi Farms user that got exposed for being a PDF. So he's going to use that as a venue to call everyone on Kiwi Farms PDFs because he's very desperate to deflect away from his own failings.
Is when he starts posting about me, and then he goes on.
Hey, Ralph said that too,
He
Amron.
makes a couple posts. Here we go. Don't mistake me looking at this from a legal perspective as some kind of misplaced sympathy for Nick or Kayla. They absolutely should not have jeopardized the stability of their children's lives by being druggy. They fucked up. This is fully on them. Over and over and over. It's all negative. So Null's super cope here because Null, I mean, at the end of the day, Null loves
He's a fan of yours. Is that what Null's saying? He's actually a Knicks fan.
Did you not see when Null did that?
No.
Oh God, this is great. because it's all just right out.
Whenever it comes to us, he turns into a fucking retard. No.
Yep.
He would never say this shit about anybody else. His brain would be working. But he's so bitter and butthurt.
Here we go. Where was it? I'll pull it up. Do you know that Null unironically said to me the other day, without a shred of jokery in it, he said, "It is distasteful to call everybody you dislike a pedophile." Null said that.
No, you should start calling some of the people you like a pedophile.
So here we go. This is Nick Ricada fights a petition.
I would argue Null is actually very strict in who he calls a
pedophile that
PDF.
allegedly requested the body cam footage is actually a member of Ricada Law's private community on local.
Because he understands, like, that's one of the worst things you can call a person. So whenever he calls someone that, it's because he genuinely believes that they are a PDF, and it's not just like name calling. Like he needs that hard evidence. It has to be you believe it with such conviction that you would take him out back. I'm sorry, that's a bit edgy, but you get my point here. He's explained that time and time again, but they're trying to argue here that just calls everyone a PDF, which is just not true.
Oh no, I know, but hold on. Here's the best part. I go check. Here's his community member lookup. Not a single penny ever paid. $0.
Would
correct,
you have
Nurgle.
donated it to Rain if he had?
That's correct, Nurgle. That is actually correct. It does not cost anything to register on the farms. Anyone can register there. You can go to kiwifarms.net right now and register an account for free. And they don't do any background checks. They don't check what kind of person you are. You just exist on the platform. And anything that gets any of you, I know what you're getting at. Like the forum isn't responsible for the skeletons that you have in your closet that there's no way they could have known that at the time that he registered. Think about consider the Twatters, consider Zitter, consider YouTube, consider Facebook. Think of all the creeps that exist on there with accounts. There are convicted murderers who have Zitter accounts. You know what I'm talking about. Ah, yes, the juice. But you know what I'm saying. But these platforms, they can police it, right? When it gets found out, right? But there's no way they could know at the time of registry, like if it's like kept, if it's not known, if it's not exposed, how are they supposed to police it? They didn't even know about it. And then when it gets exposed after the fact, you act like they were supposed to have known the whole time.
Giving you any money? The child?
No, I would have just kept it.
That is possible, Seal, but I'm operating off of what they're telling me. They're telling me Jersh verified it.
Living Color, the black guy that's in prison.
You know, it is Jersh. He's been wrong before.
Like,
Hey, Sakura.
Allegedly, man.
But he mispronounced so many of them.
Now, you are right about that too. Despite me just saying that Jersh like needs hard conviction to call someone PDF, he does hate anybody that even remotely likes anime. Like, I'm not even saying like the weird hentai fucking gooner anime that would make someone call you that, but like any kind of anime. Like, you could watch Dragon Ball Z and fucking Null will probably call you a PDF just for that. Yes.
So you don't need to use it there, you fat retard.
But yeah, so this is the guy. This is the Kiwi Farms map. And again, I want to.
It's okay, RRU. We can call them all regards at the end of the day.
You mentioned.
I'm kind of leaning to Jersh's side on this because
he hadn't asked me anything.
Because Jersh is the one that wants to not talk to this guy anymore. But Ricada is the one that keeps dredging it up. So if you were here last week, we did the restream where the casino where they went over Ricada and Jersh's like breakup. They had this the essay Twitter DMs. Ricada started that, and Jersh did not start that exchange. Jersh doesn't want to talk to this guy anymore. Ricada has like some sort of, I don't know, grudge against him. I can't imagine why. And he just randomly DMs him every now and again to talk about this shit. Because he got no friends.
He's got a verified tag.
Yeah.
They verified that this was the guy saying he was a pedophile. Presumably Null did the verification or one of the mods, because it's not something that anybody can just normally do.
It's just unreal the amount of crying about pedophile shit that guy does when he's openly harboring a really egregious pedophile.
His reaction score is positive.
Yeah.
Positive.
Because he has 5 years of activity on the site. And for most of those 5 years, people didn't know he was a PDF.
It's fine. It's fine. It's funny though, because the main reason for bringing all this up is because this is what Null does.
Yeah.
It's exactly what Null does. He does it every fucking time. He tries to guilt by association people.
He names and shames PDFs on his forum after they get exposed. That sounds based to me. Fuck them.
This person who's this, well, they're
they deserve to be named and shamed.
Okay. All right, Josh.
Bring out the tar and feathers.
I guess. Do you hold yourself to your own standards? No, he doesn't. And now, you know what's even more fun is what they've been bringing up lately. They're like, well, Nick Ricada interviewed a pedophile way back when. Do you remember who it was?
Oh, yeah, that wall-eyed guy, Tito. Maddox's super fan.
The Maddox supporter. The Maddox super
had
fan.
A convicted pedophile as a super fan that he would bring on the show and like laugh at his shitty jokes. And then I think he like...
Man, Dick just lights up when Masterson, when Maddox becomes a subject of conversation.
His case. Yeah, I found his case. I found out that he was a registered offender, found his case, and we went through it. I kept his name out of it.
Yeah, exactly, Nurgle. The mindfuckery bullshit, the dishonest way of speaking.
Said, all right. And he came on the show. It was actually a really good interview. He said that child molesters cannot be rehabbed. That they will always be, they're like addicts, basically, is what he said. They'll always be in recovery. They need accountability. They need to be put in prison. Included himself in that.
Yeah.
I wonder what happened to that guy. I wonder if he's back.
Hopefully he's dead.
If he's back on the radio flyer.
You should hit Maddox up. I want a total bad guy team up. Maddox, Eric July, this pedophile, Tito, the other pedophile.
It's like, but it's so funny because this is exactly what Null does. And he swears
that. There it is. We actually got the S ring. Okay, 2 challenges to go. I'm not going to spend the whole stream on this one challenge. Let's go.
We are asking you for this. We are this. It's like, wait, I thought Kiwi Farms wasn't a monolith. I thought you were just a bunch of individuals. That's what you keep arguing in federal court over and over.
Yeah, this is such a, like, before we even get to because you guys have an excellent point about Ricada interviewed a PDF, and also the PDF was like on Maddox's show. But literally, right now, current day, present time, Dick Masterson does a podcast with a self-admitted PDF.
Yeah, that's just a website, and you don't act like as a unit or group. And Josh has been saying "we" a lot lately.
Oh yeah, I saw DSP's big ass first place.
On behalf of
It's
Kiwi
the only
Farms.
first place he's gonna get in this game.
Wait, what was that?
Did you mean we pedophiles like Vito?
Yeah.
All right, here's the next one.
We, that
see,
we?
Dick, we've evolved to understand pedophiles. That was the worst. Vito, remove that word from your vocabulary.
He can't. He still says it. He says it all the time.
Okay, wait a minute. Hear me out.
Yeah.
I know a guy who cannot take personal accountability for a single fucking thing in his entire life. Nothing. To the point where he can't, if he sent a text message and it was misunderstood, and you say, but read the words of the text message and understand, and like try and figure out why someone believed you said the one thing when you meant something else.
Yeah.
He won't say that he sent the text message. Like, it's that bad. When this person, this is a real person, when they had anything to ever admit to, they would always say we. And we do this. We
Were
do
they
that.
French?
Vito does that.
It's like,
Exactly.
you're an asshole.
All right, first
Yeah,
run.
you don't like
That
sandwiches.
wasn't that
We over
bad.
here, we prefer soup.
Last
It's
one
like,
had way too many
don't put
hills
me
and
included
hurdles.
with your
That
fuck,
was
I
a
do
bit
love soup, but don't make
bit
Every time I
easier
ask
in my
him about his
opinion.
Comic, like, is your comic coming out now or ever?
Oh,
He's
sorry.
like,
Rewind to where Dick says like Vito. I don't know how far back that was. I'll go like a minute.
like Vito?
Wait, what was that?
Hey,
You
Kapathic.
mean we pedophiles?
I'm so sorry, Kapathic, but I saw the title, not sending their best with Dick Masterson, and I was like, okay, well, DSP isn't live tonight. Nobody else is kind of live tonight. Let's see. This is the restream of the evening, and unfortunately, oh, it's been kind of funny so far.
Like Vito?
Yeah. Well.
Oh wait, dude, you're right. How did I miss that? Was too busy
It's just
motorcycling.
Like, wait, I thought Kiwi Farms wasn't a monolith. I thought you were just a bunch of individuals. That's what you keep arguing in federal court over and over.
Yeah.
That's just a website, and you don't act like as a unit or group. And Josh has been saying we a lot lately.
How odd.
Now he's
Does he mean
posting
we
on behalf of
pedophiles?
Kiwi Farms.
Like Vito?
Oh, dude, that's a self-felt right there. Don't worry, it was just a joke. Because Dick Masterson is just a jokester. He totally doesn't keep Vito around just to have someone to stand next to look better than.
Wait, what
Good
was
catch.
Did you mean we pedophiles like Vito?
Yeah. Well,
We, that
see,
we?
Dick, we've evolved to understand pedophiles. That was the worst. Vito, remove that word from your vocabulary.
He can't. He still says it. He says it all the time.
Okay, wait a minute. Hear me out.
Yeah.
I know a guy who cannot take personal
he
accountability
also
for
give
a
his
single
kids
fucking thing in his
cocaine?
entire life. Nothing. To the point where he can't, if he sent a text message and it was misunderstood, and you say, but read the words of the text message and understand, and like try and figure out why someone believed you said the one thing when you meant something else.
Yeah.
He won't say that he sent the text message. Like, it's that bad. When this person, this is a real person, when they had anything to ever admit to, they would always say we. And we do this. We do that.
Yeah, Vito does that.
It's like,
Exactly.
you're an asshole. Yeah, you don't like sandwiches. We over here, we prefer soup. It's like,
Yeah.
wait, don't put me included with your fuck. I do love soup, but don't make
Every
me
time I
included
ask
in-
him about his comic, like, is your comic coming out now or ever? He's like, well, we're trying to get it out. I'm like, well,
who's we?
Who's we? You. I'm talking to you.
Didn't the whole comic leak? I saw a segment
Like, well, we
where
really think that we have
Jersh
something
read all of
for,
it
you
and
know, by
talked
the
about
end
how
of the
bad it
month.
was.
Okay. What do you think? Do you
So
think
I
he knows what
thought
they're
so.
doing? Because I don't think we know.
He made fun of the art recently.
I think
The art
so
was
maybe-
kinda
maybe
shoddy.
That's Vito's problem. He's
I mean, I'm not an
he's a
artist,
we
but-
guy. Like he can't.
it seems like he
can't
was
have the
cutting some
personal
corners.
accountability at all. So it's got to be we.
Comes off as very hypocritical given how bigly he criticized Eric July's art.
Worked out one time in his life and he'll never do it again.
Oh, it was incomplete.
And on that day, how many push-ups
The
did
beta
he do?
test for the comic. It's not a bug, it's a feature, man.
No, you got to do more push-ups than this guy raped kids. How about that? Then your forum members have raped kids. convicted, not just raped kids in general, because
Hilarious joke.
I couldn't even do that many push-ups, but convicted in court of raping kids.
It's a disturbing trend that keeps happening on the Kiwi farms. I'm noticing. It's like it just keeps.
Nick, it really is, because my community expels pedophiles.
No, not really. You have one as your co-host.
We don't give them awards and stuff. We don't send them into court to do our important legal filings. We say, hey, don't do that. Get away from me. Get the hell out of here.
Some lawyer allegedly licensed in Minnesota offered to professionally record the hearings on behalf of Kiwi Farms, but he wrote some other attorney's bar number down.
It happens all the time. It happens all the time. Sometimes I misspell my own name, you know?
Yeah.
It happens all the time. My birthday.
Just wrote someone else's bar number down again. I mean, you know. It's just... And twice in the same document.
His license? Huh, that's somebody else's. I don't know why I wrote that.
Twice in the same document, he wrote down
Gunmetal Gothic.
It's not like he just
Nightmare Creatures meets Pew Pews. Nightmare Creatures. I've seen the box art for that. I've never played it.
That's good.
Yeah, they're not sending their best.
Classic. Never played it.
Or maybe they are.
Well, that's possible. Of course, that's.
I'll commit it to memory. I'll look it up.
That was their saucy pedophile.
I do like PS1 style games. Very nostalgic. It's my nostalgic console of choice.
Oh God. I don't even want to talk too much about these people. Dude, I'm not the kind.
Big ups for the GPM.
They're sick.
GPM as redeemed by GPM. There he is. He's doing the shuffle.
Well, I guess it must be a shame
when you can't go outside, baby boy.
And everyone's afraid of them.
Is it only on Steam or is it on console?
Because they are so sick.
The thing is,
oh yeah. Nick admitting to reading his own thread constantly. Yeah, it's not even a veil about that anymore.
This did this like that whole.
It's out and out admitting it.
Living in their mom's basement. Like I hate that sort of label because like look, I know a lot of dudes who like live in a shitty apartment or whatever because they work or they drive a truck and they really don't need to be home, and so it's like, you know, I don't care about people's life choices like that. Like, oh, you're single, whatever. But consistently, as I have been exposed, not like the children are, but as I've been exposed to Kiwi Farms users, I find disturbing trends of government assistance, no job, no family, no support network.
Yeah.
And often government housing. And yes, on occasion, a little dash of the pedophilia.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, you guys
Most
really do
people
make the
don't
fucking
hang around pedophiles. That's the thing, you know.
Josh likes to have a board collecting them.
Hey, that's right. There it is. Didn't take nearly as many tries as the last one. One more to go.
What's the guy's name?
Let's go.
You know, what's this new guy's name?
Motocross Maestro.
Jason Close. Next is going to be limited.
Go around the track twice.
New lawsuit. He's going to sue God for some reason. For
not making him Catholic, making him Jewish.
Noel's going to sue God for making kids.
Guys,
so
this track goes on forever.
Fund the lawsuit by selling limited edition.
I gotta do it twice.
Coins from China for whatever, $100 a piece to these miscreants.
Do you remember the 8chan drama with Josh as a moderator over on 8chan?
Only a little bit. Only that everyone was mad at him and he had an explanation for why. It wasn't.
The reason that everyone was mad at him was because he moderated like the Chan slash the slash pedophile board.
Oh,
where he's like, look, I took out their ability to share pictures, but I wanted to give them a place to talk and vent their pedophilia or whatever.
I'm not sure if that's how he explained it.
Moderator, them or us?
I don't know. He might have been.
But yeah, he does still get shit for that. I disavow. I wouldn't run a board like that.
Well, they couldn't post pictures, so they couldn't post
with a 10-foot fucking pole. But I genuinely don't. I don't recall if that's how he argued it. I don't think he said it like that, bro.
Each other and like plan shit.
And do you remember any of the early fucking null posting that was done? Like really early, where he talked about being into Shota. and shit like that. Like that was the only way he could masturbate. That's why it's Broke Dick Farms, right? Was because
Wasn't it Broke Dick Farms because Ralph just said Josh Moon has a broken dick?
I'm sure he was being satirical. How his dick didn't work anymore except when he would masturbate to Shota, which, if people don't know, Shota is the male version of Lolly. It's an underage boy that's drawn in an anime style. This type of stuff Digibro was talking about.
Why is he talking
Oh,
about
another
that?
PDF that associated with the Dick
know.
Masterson, Ralph Lamel, and Nick Ricada sphere. Digibro.
Posts. They're really, really, really interesting.
I'm more into his N-word posting when he melts down and says he's the N-word of the world. Did you read that one? Vito had like a really heartfelt tearjerker reading of that to some violin music.
Yes,
Where
no,
Noel says
the
that
world's
nobody likes him, and he only gets only the worst reprobates and pieces of shit like him, and nobody that anyone respects likes him, and this is just his lot in life.
Oh, Josh had to think about how he couldn't come. Ralph capitalized on it. Okay, and then I guess it was his old forum post then. Hey, Burly Baby.
NPL. I guess it's non-practicing lawyer. That's me. By definition, I'm a practicing lawyer, which.
Yeah, I wasn't the broken dick stuff and how he can't come and this other nonsensical postings. Aren't they talking about his Blockland posts, which I believe he talked about himself already. This is kind of one of those bean horse situations, and again, it's just more Ricada just dredging up shit to deflect from his own failings, which is obviously what people actually want to talk about here. But he talked about that on, I think it was the episode, it was an early episode of Mad at the Internet, the one with the couch cuck, the school shooter who got cucked by the couch. This is early lore, early style lore. Okay, the Shota stuff was Blockland, the Broke Dick stuff was older stuff. Okay, I remember that he posted on Blockland and that he modded that 8chan board, and then he was on the Quickie forums, and then that turned into the Kiwi Farm. So he's the current owner, but he's not the founder. So he took ownership of it from someone else. And then he worked with Hot Wheels, the crippled guy, the crippled blobby little guy who now hates him and is also a furry raccoon guy now. that guy had quite the heel turn. Yeah. And then there was another guy too, Jim, not Jim Menaker, but Jim the farmer Jim. And they all lived in the Philippines for some reason. I can't recall. Yeah, but Jersh has been all over the world, hasn't he?
It's funny, but keep going. From Minnesota is complaining to a maps defending ass about a convicted map engaging activity that is not doing illegal or unconstitutional. Remember all the minor attracted persons you defended, Dick? Remember all those?
Yeah, it's basically the argument there, Seal.
Probably.
I hope it's not like 2 or 3 hours of that defense, though.
My general philosophy is that everyone should be killed.
Yeah, I watched the stream he did on Jim. It's just, that was 2018, and stuff falls out the memory well there.
This thing is not defined.
That was a million years ago, man.
Oh yeah,
back in the streamy days.
Right, as evidenced by, I think it's still available.
Pretty sure, yeah. Pretty sure they're gonna start running an ad campaign that it's the last month you can watch it on Netflix.
And all of the all of the lawsuits against it, where like the Texas guys.
It's very generous for you to make fun of Dax's voice on a stream where I'm the one talking.
You have the very controversial opinion of like, well, it doesn't actually fall under the law as.
Oh, hey, D-Cyph.
Yeah. Oh, I made it even worse. I said, well, the woman who made it to help mothers and young girls talk about how men want to rape them.
Yeah.
And that they shouldn't.
They actually the curious question then. The Taiga stuff. So the Taiga stuff's been coming around. And we looked into it to all their chat messages, and we couldn't find anything that suggested that Taiga actually tipped Phil. Not that it matters either way, but some people were saying that he did tip Phil. So just for full clarity, it appears from what we were able to dig up in the YouTube chat message archive thing, the thing that shows all your messages in DSP's chat, apparently Taiga has never tipped. Though, to be fair, that's that kind of stuff wouldn't come up in the YouTube chat archives anyway. But from what was dredged up from their account, it doesn't appear that they had any super chats or anything. And the memberships they have appear to be gifted.
It was like, the funny thing is like, you know what?
Oh yeah, absolutely, he has been in chat. He came in with Mortal Kombat 1, and he stuck around for Baldur's Gate 3.
Well, yeah,
I think that I hated the like production of the movie. I didn't watch it. So many people had to watch it to find out. They're like, oh, I got to see how bad it is. And they watched it and they're like, it was awful. It's like, you didn't get that from like the trailer or the poster?
Let's ask Jason. Let's ask Jason Close if it's. Let's ask.
I wouldn't say. Okay, going back to that, I wouldn't say they're a dent or like a pay pig, but more like an outside of the sector, you know, the fucking Gatosphere, outside of the vortex creator, content creator who stumbles upon like a DSP stream. Maybe it's in their recommended feed and like, oh yeah, I've heard about that guy. That's the guy who masturbated in front of everyone. I wonder what his streams are like. So they go into the stream just to see what it is, just kind of get a feel for what it's really like to watch a DSP live. And sometimes they stick around, and sometimes they give him money. Sometimes they stick around, but they don't give him money. So Tyga would be an example. You also had the Mystic guy recently who did super chat about it was either $20 or $50, and then people wrote him hard for that. And then you also have the trucker guy, the Ash Ketchum trucker guy, who really got upset with Anne for some reason. His name Maximilian? Not that Maximilian, but I think he was also named Maximilian. And there have been other people who have come and gone, people who don't necessarily have any ulterior motives or nefarious means against the guy, or even the detractors who were right, but just like random check marks who have their own thing. They got their own thing going on. They see a DSP stream, and like Darish, they hop on a DSP stream just to see what's going on. And like more often than not, they just stay and then leave. And I think Tyga was one of the ones that stuck around, and now they got their own shit going on.
If he's jacked off to it or not. No, you shouldn't have.
Yeah, an odd anomaly.
Let's determine this once and for all.
I'm really porky picking it up tonight. I'm sorry.
Was it on his laptop?
Yeah. Does he have
on
a Netflix?
laptop?
How many times does he watch it on Netflix? Ask him. Because if it's child porn, he's not gonna. I mean, I've watched the same Hitomi Tanaka videos about 10,000 times. I don't need more.
Oh no. If you watch my interview with a convicted child porn collector, you find out that they need more.
They do. Yeah,
And
that's weird.
this guy, I was reading through one of his documents. I don't have all of them yet. I was reading through one of his documents, and the special agent who was investigating this guy's laptop to find out.
Yeah, at least you got
Jason
hair,
Close guy,
GPM.
to find
Porky
out about
Pig
all the kid
doesn't.
porn that was on it. They talked about how they guard their child pornography as prized treasures and possessions.
I feel
Like,
a bit
that is
better about the
common
political
thing
landscape
to do.
now that Kamala's picked her VP. His last name is
beyond the pedo
Walls. They're not winning with a name like
when
that.
I used to do this series. I'm going to bring it back soon because it's fucking interesting, even though it's horrifying. It's how to catch and convict a predator, right? And you go through the federal documents that are all available on Pacer for a registered.
I remember
sex offender.
thinking
Just
that
pick
with
one.
Clinton's
It
VP
doesn't
pick
matter, you
too.
just pick one.
Kane?
They're all horrible.
Oh yeah, watch out
And,
for
what they do is
Kane.
they talk about how they obtain their collections, because you notice it's never a guy with like he's got 4 pictures of an underage. It's
Sometimes the surname like
40,000
means
images,
everything. Your own
12,000
surname makes or
videos,
breaks your political
what they do is
aspirations.
they
Like that guy who wanted to run for
batch up
president, his last name was
groups
Castro.
of videos and content and trade them.
It was never
with
gonna
other
happen,
people
buddy.
They use like chat rooms and shit like that on message boards that are anonymous, and they try and verify that it's not a Fed. It's always a Fed, by the way. It's always a Fed on the other side, but they try and verify
Like
that
Huey
it's not.
Farms.
Can you imagine the number of Feds that have to be on that site?
Oh, I wish I had Raising
There's
Canes.
one convicted child molester there, so
But yeah, they would use a message board, or they would use a private chat function, and then they would have kind of logs of what videos were in particular collections, and they would trade them.
Yeah.
And actually, Josh had talked about a system he was trying to develop, which would actually capture and catalog child sexual abuse material through something called hashing. He claimed they would use hashes to be able to quickly identify and ban child sexual abuse material by creating a library of it. And that's what they do.
I'm running a similar thing for any chicks that have huge tits. I'm trying to catalog all the big, only skinny women, big tits in the world. So send me your picture, and I'll put it on my hash list, so that if it gets out, I can stop it. That's my. Is it something like that?
Yeah.
So I'll have all the pictures of all the chicks, skinny chicks with huge tits.
Just
Cut your
a library.
Ruined. Yeah.
Just a library out there. And it's It's amazing because it's like when I was asking him about this, I was like, that sounds horrible. Because like the government does this already, and I've said multiple times the FBI is the largest owner of child pornography in the world outside of maybe Facebook. Facebook now. But like you don't need to create the hashed libraries. They're publicly accessible. There's government ones in there. There's actually private industry ones where you can just get like corporations can get access to these things so that their websites can pre-block child sexual abuse material that already exists. Like, why are you trying to do it?
And they have like, you know, guys like looking at each other, running the list, like you're making sure they have women in there making sure that shit gets deleted. You know, you can't just have all men monitoring the pedophile child porn database. You got to throw a couple of women in. Hopefully all women, honestly, not just you and Commie Dick Girl, not you two.
That's a name I hear often.
Defamation as well. I'm using Null's explanation. Null told me I was dumb and I didn't understand how hashing worked, and he went on to explain that he had theorized and had tried to put into motion this project.
Really groundbreaking stuff, buddy.
To hash and catalog, because he wanted to keep it off the farms. Yeah. That's what he said. Like, he can't sue me for defamation. Like, I'm using his words and explanation for it, and he was correcting me. I thought he was keeping the pictures. I was like, that seems weird that you need to keep the pictures. He's like, no, just the hashes.
That's true. Women are able to hide abuse better. Just look at Amber Heard's turn, man.
If your understanding brought you there, then I don't want to understand it. That's fine.
It's fucking amazing. God. Oh boy!
How come he couldn't hash? He couldn't hash all the posts on his website that said "I'm a convicted pedophile."
Nah, he didn't have time.
Oh, self-report there, Dax.
Dig, how is he supposed to find the one post? That was one of my favorite tweets. It's one post and amongst blah blah blah. How's Null supposed to find? Null is the king of finding the one thing. Like that's what Null does. It's all he does is Kiwi Farms. That's his entire life.
Hello? Hello? Am I back? Hello? Swollen_dingus here. I'm the one. I'm the guy. In my stream. Can you hear me? Refresh the stream. Refresh! It says I'm reconnected. Means I should still be existing, correct? Right? Okay, yeah. Finally, I look. It said I reconnected. Then I typed the message, and it's like your message failed to send. I'm like, what the hell? How did it fail to send? It says I'm reconnected. You get to redeem that again, Mr. Pun. Well, Juzzy redeemed it first, I think. No, it wasn't Juzzy, was it? It wasn't Juzzy. It was someone. No, it was Juzzy. Okay, Mr. Pun gets to redeem it. You don't get to redeem it again, but he just said, okay, whatever. We're back. Thank you for sticking around. Yes. Comcast is not felting us today. Back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Streaming all day pretending that e-celebs are pedophiles for money. I think you should spend more time policing this bastion of free speech rather than going online and pretending that Vito is a pedophile so people will give you money. That's just me, though. I mean, I don't know.
Where's the correlation in that? First of all, again, he self-admitted, self-reported that he was a PDF.
They have that.
And how does that get Jersh money?
Like, why are you building this? The government already built it. It's available. Like, Facebook uses it. Twitter uses it. The reason that Facebook and Twitter run into so much child sexual abuse material is because the stuff that they're getting is newly created stuff that children are often blackmailed or coerced into by horrible fucking people.
By people like Kiwi Farmer Jason Close, who's probably violating a family member.
I just allegedly.
Yeah, make sure to add allegedly there.
Oh, was it allegedly an 8-year-old?
I don't know if they were convicted.
Let's see. Let me see.
Well, because there were a couple different. See, there were charges in multiple courts. There were the federal charges, and then there was the military.
This is such a weird stream, man.
The military.
Okay. I was convicted. I am a felon and a sex offender. I'm reading his. Have you read his presidential pardon?
Yes.
Can I read it? Can I read this?
Yeah, you want me to pull it? Hold on, let me pull it up.
I have it. Yeah, pull it up if you want. This is Null's buddy, and the guy.
But now they're gonna LARP like they were best friends?
Of Nick Ricciardo's arrest so he could see his kids. Was convicted of. I mean, I thought he was convicted of these sex crimes, but I don't know. He wrote the president asking for a pardon.
Hold on, I've almost got it. Just trying to
Somebody
find...
tell me what he was exactly convicted of.
I know he was convicted of possession of child pornography. That much I know for sure.
The thing I read was 134 counts of...
Here it is. Almost got it pulled up. Took me a while to find it.
Oh, he wrote a bunch of these? Oh, okay.
Wait, he has multiple?
Hey, as long as he's not molesting kids and he's writing letters to the president, that's fine.
So here it is. Yeah, Jason Close.
Yeah, my name is Jason Close. I seek a presidential pardon. A little bit about my current status. I am former military. Oh, man, that's bad. I am former military, dishonorably discharged by the dint of the crimes I was convicted of.
I wonder if he had some dishonorable discharges while looking at children.
And a sex offender. Obviously, I contest all of that. All of it?
I mean, you didn't contest it. That was kind of the
Yeah, Goki, you're here at the worst possible time.
Offender.
Yeah, what president did he write this to? Biden or Trump?
I don't know.
I have monkeypox on my neck. That's what I got.
Being unable to obtain a job in 3 years, I sleep on a bench outside the White
Yeah, Ricciardo
House.
can't defend himself, so just they're A-logging the farms for a show.
He has a phone or whatever to do kiwi farms on.
Yeah.
I use my various Virginia resources to stay fed and hygienic, X to doubt, which lets me fight. I've been in D.C. for several weeks and have used that time to attempt to network with congressional members. 1 a.m. seeking political clout to help move my pardon case along. Starting with my arrival, I maintain a logbook with every action I have taken or piece of information I have discovered. God, this guy can be... Oh my God. Three major aspects of this story. Whitney, I was accused of brutally raping my wife's little sister, who was about 8 at the time, acquitted on these counts and specifications.
This is what the sector has become now. Well, IBS in the sector, even back in the day, was always just kind of, you know, the inevitability was just calling each other PDFs.
I was accused of knowing an unlawful possession of child pornography.
Sometimes it was valid, like that bathtub kid.
I was framed by my ex-lover.
What's his name, Ross?
You said your ex-lover framed you. That's not your actions indicating it. And I attempted to correct it by going to my superiors. That's also not true. When you read through the document, I don't know if you were reading the same one, but he was reported to his superiors by someone else.
That was extra fucked in the head.
Watching a movie while this guy was in the bathroom.
Sickos, dude.
The guy went to start the next movie and opened up a folder that had a bunch of stuff about 9-year-olds and people having sex with them.
Oh, okay.
And so the guy's like, "Whoa, Kimasabe," and he went to the commanding officers and reported this guy for having child pornography.
Okay.
Like that's what happened there. But
So
he's like, "I went to."
that shit on there. On his
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah,
And
and
then
on the PlayStation device and everything.
Right. The problem was the digital forensic expert who looked over his computer noticed that it was a long pattern of downloads over a period of many, many years. So
yeah,
it wasn't actually just a one-time thing.
Yeah.
And this guy put him into it. He thought he deleted all of them. That was his defense was, well, I thought he deleted those. He put them all into a file folder called wipe, which has multiple meanings. Put it into a file folder called wipe and thought that they were deleted, but as it turns out, they were all just saved in the file folder called wipe. Not actually deleted because they didn't go into the trash or the delete folder. They just went into a folder named wipe.
Okay, that's a really shitty A rank.
Whoever found his laptop.
Hey, unlock and play all challenges. Earn A rank or higher in all challenges, but it's not an S rank. We need an S rank.
Like the bro code of death or whatever.
Oh, check out the legendary trial. The ultimate speedrun experience is now available for the main menu. You'll have to run all the legend difficulty challenges back to back to back like Drake declared. Give it a shot if you're brave enough.
Fucking dude. And he's like, I was framed.
Oh,
like,
then I get the credits, I guess.
So, man.
credits,
By the way, legal
and
advice. If
everyone was
if you ever
cool.
think that like you were someone like framed you and sent you like child pornography,
Yeah.
Oh,
destroy
agreed, Pathetic.
everything. Destroy.
It always kind of just, it always just kind of degraded into regards screaming at each other. But all the same, that was kind of the appeal of it, right? Like, Jim always likened it to watching Jerry Springer in the now.
Bro.
Don't like. Well, I can delete it and just save the hard drive. Nope.
Yeah.
Don't save the hard drive. It's not worth it.
Didn't
Get rid of
the Quartering make a
everything.
video on what to do?
You can't
if you
skip
have
the
child
credits.
porn?
Fuck this fucking game,
Quartering?
man.
Absolutely. I think the Quartering made a video.
Fucking
giving advice
Nintendo,
for people
right?
who
They think
are
they're so
trying-
fucking self-important. They have their head
he
up
was
their
joking,
fucking
but
poopy
fucking he's an
butthole,
asshole.
thinking that, oh, you have to see the whole credits to respect people who make the game. Fuck those people,
Storage
right?
is so fucking cheap. Without a hint of irony, get
Right.
rid of the thing.
Yeah.
You do.
You want to holler over me? We use every fucking thing.
This
Ah,
is somebody just sent me
Xander.
his excuse.
I can't
I'll
do
read
it.
this when you're done.
I used to
I
have
think
that
it's a
shit
different
memorized.
document.
That shit used to live rent free in my
Blames,
head.
His insomnia.
Like a
for all
month
the
after it
child porn
happened.
he
It was an
found.
amazing stream. It happened on a COG stream too. COG stream.
So wait, he did. What did he just need like help jerking off, like to?
That's what I thought at first too, but I don't know. I'll read it. Read that one. That's good.
Where's that? Hold on. Is that down lower?
No, I'll send it to you. It might be in a different document. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have.
Yes, it is.
Oh yeah, send me that.
You get this nice little chill theme for beating every challenge.
Where am I on Twitter or something?
No, I don't know how to send
COG and
stuff.
Dan mates for life. To the point that
Is it a
COG
whole
lives
file?
with them.
No,
It
it's just an
provides
image.
no earthly revenue.
No, just DM it to me on Twitter.
Okay.
Well, also
Okay, yeah.
treating
Was there
Dan's
more
daughter
now?
as if she
I mean,
were his
there's
daughter.
a whole left.
I don't know what's going on there. And accepting troll
he
donations,
talks
like
about all
like
this
he
stuff.
accepts gifts from the
Like,
trolls
the
for the
other,
daughter. I just don't ask.
Autumn is the aforementioned ex-lover who allegedly framed him. He says, I violated UCMJ law by being married at the time. UCMJ does not distinguish a separated status. Despite my blatantly confessing this to the investigator, never actually charged. This aspect is the
Yeah,
linchpin
the
in
casino
the entire
covered it
case.
recently.
So wait, it's that you were married but
I'm
separated.
half tempted to watch the COG stream that he did
get it.
yesterday, where he streamed for 5 hours ranting about DSP because the casino told
Okay, I
him
just sent it to
about
you.
COG and COG's existence. To COG, this was like the biggest slide ever.
Okay, here we go.
Now take it easy, GPM. Thanks for stopping by,
So it
man.
says the final week of November 2012, less than 2 weeks after my fail out of the mental health program. No. Staff
Wait,
sergeant-
he blamed the judge because the judge was molested as a child.
Yeah, he did that. Staff Sergeant, well, SSG, I guess it's Staff Sergeant, I don't know. Durham and I had an easy mission to watch some military equipment each night that week. We were authorized to watch movies on our laptops.
Based on the
My
work of the
laptop
original
was
Famicom
stronger,
NES
so we
game
used
development
mine.
staff.
Because of the sudden but temporary change in my sleep schedule, I did not take my sleep meds between shifts.
The old
I was
classic.
unaware
Thank
of
you
the
so much
rebound
for
effect
playing
and
my
fell
game.
prey to massive insomnia that week.
Sleep.
The final day of our... I just said, look, I've had insomnia, and kid porn was never on the menu.
Never happened.
The final day of our particular week, Thursday, I tried and failed to sleep. I decided to do a more or less routine cleaning out of my download folder. Oh no!
All
I
pins
came
unlocked.
across
Big
an
ups.
ambiguously named archive. That is a single file containing one or more compressed files.
Oh,
I
okay.
extracted it to examine the contents. For context, it is routine for me to acquire a number of related but independently released tools when developing a new script. I compare and evaluate to see which program would fit my needs, and these are usually distributed via archives due to space and bandwidth considerations. It is not unusual for me to have a eureka moment with one, that works and leaves the rest of the files littered about the download folder. Oh no!
Wait, what?
So he's saying that he had this archive in there, and he had a eureka moment, and just left. He left this archive of child pornography from some other collection of developer tools. It sounds
Yeah,
like.
developer tools and developing scripts. I know. I heard that part. He's working on his HVAC repairman degree.
Yeah. So he's in this case, the archive contained child pornography. I'm gonna. Someone just spilled their child porn all over my hard drive. Wow,
I thought this was Linux. How did this all get in here?
Here we go. Here we go. I panicked, and adrenaline flushed through me. I moved the archive and the extracted files to my previously established location to point my secure delete program at. I executed the secure delete routine.
Oh, what the fuck?
Buddy, you should have secure deleted it with a 9mm. Like, what the fuck were you doing? He's like, look, so what happened was the archive, it just spilled child pornography all over my folder. So I went through and meticulously found them all, and I moved them all to my secure delete folder. That's what I did. I just moved them over there.
Nobody has that. Nobody has got a secure. What were you downloading that accidentally had child pornography, though?
But he's acting like it's a bowl of Cheerios that spilled on a kitchen table. And like, oh,
133 is B++ rank.
What was I doing? I didn't know what to do. I just had to gather it all up, like scooping it into my hand, and then I put it in the secure delete folder.
Oh no! It's dude. Oh no! It's all berries. Remember when Captain Crunch did that?
Like,
oh no!
What?
It's all child porn. The Soggies have gotten into the factory.
I get the reference, but I think the reference is
like
you don't need to say the
hacker's
Captain
version of what
Crunch
happens on
part,
a computer.
and
It's
it's
like,
not
oh,
funny
God,
either.
I just clicked one thing.
Thank you,
and
Dax. Thank you, Dax.
Child porn. Good Christ.
This guy was an army guy. He was in the army.
Yeah. In my sleepy but twitchy state, I neglected to pick up on the fact that one file was a torrent. My torrent client automatically detected it in the download folder and did the job it was pre-configured to do. It's like, oh God, my torrent file just automatically sent out all the child porn to everybody else.
I'm gonna start swinging my arms like this, and if I happen to find some child porn, I'm gonna jack off to it.
So the child porn spills all over his files. He cleans that up as fast as possible and throws it into his secure delete folder. But his computer was too wily and fast for him and found the torrent file and just sent it out to everybody too early.
Yeah.
A torrent is a binary file, non-binary now, it's 2024, you bigot, that acts as a sort of pre-made playlist of files to download and also lists potential sources from which to do so. The client downloaded another illicit archive without my awareness of that matter.
What?
He's saying his torrent program went rogue and searched for child
downloading
porn
more
for
child
him.
porn? Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
This all occurred within an hour or so of SSG Durham's expected arrival at my house so that we could go to work. Now that the adrenaline had left my system,
Fenner.
I was sleepy, so I simply sat back and closed my eyes until it was time to go home.
There was some truth in what Rich said about PDFs liking to laugh and call it other
To
PDFs.
the child porn.
He said that.
Oh no! Ah!
Must have been on one of his streams that I never watched. This segment does come off as a little forced, though.
I slept, but not deeply and not for long.
That may be more due to
I took
Dick's
my
forced
seemingly
laughter than
clean
anything.
computer to work for our enjoyment on the detail. At around 7 a.m. as I did checks, SSG Durham was alone with my laptop and went looking for a new movie. Unsurprisingly, he found the criminal file in the pre-configured download folder. This is the only instance of the archive file being opened as well. Yeah, right.
I mean, what the hell does that mean?
Just fucking amazing.
Wow, what an unlucky, what a Mr. Magoo level coincidence, this poor guy.
Oh God.
Oh God, I don't know how to use my computer. Oh, I'm sitting here with a sleep spell.
Oh, this adrenaline. Oh.
Yeah, it's a bit out of taste, are you? To make jokes like this
Well,
while you're
I'm going to prison
while you're
now.
under scrutiny for
Look, I was
child
just
neglect.
walking downstairs with these two 44-ounce beverages. Oh God, there's child porn all over the place.
It's like your pants getting. It's like
just a little tone deaf.
Bad grandpa, like your pants getting caught in a door. You know? Oh no, my pants got ripped off by the car door, the taxi door, closing my pants, and now my pants are ripped off.
How did this happen? Why me? Why now?
Bro, come on.
Why 1 hour conveniently before your friend comes over, or whatever? Jesus Christ.
Oh, thank you.
Ugh. Okay. Let me read some of these chats. Logan Orr says, "Have you ever considered not hanging out with pedophiles on stream?" Well, like I said, the only one I knowingly did that with was the one I was wildly critical of, and it wasn't the friendliest interview either.
No,
it was a good one.
I watched that one live. It was upsetting because the guy was talking about like accountability, but he wasn't taking any.
None at all.
Yeah.
That was obvious that he was talking about like,
because he gave the same kind of story. Like, well, I'm not a pedophile. I just like go for porn, and then you know how it is. You get into more and more extreme. They always do that shit. You know how it is. Like, no, stop right there. No, I don't. No.
Yeah, it's like, well, I just started with, I just watched lesbian porn with chicks making out, and the next thing you know, it's kids fucking. It's like, nope. No, that's not the progression. Most people just stop at the lesbian porn, like whatever they find the thing they like and they just stop there. They don't do the like, oh, it has to be more intense thing.
For you, Nick, that would be swinging and cuckoldry, and a little bit of black porn.
There was a super chat on. Oh, here it goes. Bokovic says adultery is still a crime under the UCMJ.
There's a reason he's quite familiar with the porn pipeline.
Divorce matters. Yeah, I just don't know what the actual. Wait, is he saying he committed adultery?
Yeah, he's like.
Was it when he allegedly raped the kid? Was that the adultery?
Yeah, he's trying to throw in the adultery as a crime to make like the child molesting accusation look slide that one under the radar a little bit.
Yeah, it's I don't know, man. I don't know. This is one of those things that I'm glad I'll never have to defend myself from, because look, I'm a horrific degenerate.
At first, I was kissing my friend's wife, and then all of my kids tested positive for cocaine.
That leads to child pornography. That's not a thing.
Yeah,
happens to the best of us, kid.
That lesbian porn makes you trans. That most people who watch lesbian porn are secretly trans.
I don't actually.
He told me that before he broke up with me on my show.
Unironically, I don't actually like lesbian porn. I don't.
Me either. I don't like seeing women in pleasure, being pleasured. I hate it.
Cheddar 26.
Does it remind him of how he can't please any women?
Is that I have but $6 to F the state of Minnesota. Slimo Jones says there's whining in the background. I think one of your kids are crying because they're starving or want more cocaine. The stuff that got you here to begin with.
Felted. Shouldn't have paid him for that though.
Guys, the kids were never on cocaine. That's like if that's not what you get from this, the state saying, "Oh yeah, you could have your kid back," then you are a fucking retard. Which I've been telling you you're a retard from the beginning, but I was willing to let this work.
Well, they had cocaine in their system. They're framing it disingenuously as if the kids were like taking cocaine all the time.
You're straight up fucking retarded.
If you guys don't realize that if the state had any inkling that we had given a child cocaine, that we would be charged with felony child abuse. Like,
you'd be dead.
The kids would not be around. That would not be a thing. Like, not just not be around. Like, we may not be out of jail until our hearing or until our like trial. Like, that's an extremely serious crime.
Yeah.
The problem was, I mean, hell, one of the state workers flat out said they don't believe that the child had actually ingested anything. They brought up environmental exposure. I haven't had an opportunity.
Well, I want his trial to be televised and recorded. I want to watch him spurg out it on his lawyer, who he screams is incompetent. Morikata was the one who was advocating for everything in court and in the court proceeding to be public, in the public interest.
The state didn't have an expert.
Funny how he doesn't advocate for that for himself.
That was the point of my.
Of course, it would be regarded of him to do that, but at least it would be consistent.
The admission of any discussion about the test until we could have it reviewed.
Yeah.
Or a continuance so that we could have it reviewed. Because when the state told us about the test, I fucking lost my mind.
Yeah.
I said, that's impossible. That's fucking impossible. And by the way, the state worker tried to lie to us.
And what was that network he was arguing with for copyright law and crime? Happy to air on that.
They said they cannot produce a false positive. That's the state, ladies and gentlemen.
Really? What if you misread the document right now? What about that?
That's the state.
A false positive.
People ask, well, why didn't you get the child retested? We tried. They wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do it.
Yeah, of course not. Once they get what they need, they're done.
Yeah. Actually, the exact quote was the county is not interested in pursuing a second test.
Yeah.
That was because I said that's impossible. There's no fucking way that test is accurate. Not a chance. I mean, she looked.
The Ricada roboting? What's going on here? This ain't me. I ain't dropping no frames.
For me or for everyone?
Okay, yeah, it's them. Stop scaring me.
You're about to say something good, though. Hopefully it's just me. Let me close my, Is it just me? Oh, they got him. They did get him. He's getting stormed again.
Hey, Aaron's just as bad as Ricada. Well, not just as bad, but you know what I get. You know what I mean.
He's froze for you too. All right, I'll read some chats. I'm only gonna read Rumble chats though. Is it just me? I'm running Nick's show now.
Call them Rick?
Yeah, it's the FBI.
Sorry, guys, it's turned into the Dick Show. Most of you guys' first time actually watching the Dick Show, because no one else does.
If I had gotten taken out of my home at that age, I think they would have had to shoot me before I got back to my Nintendo to keep me away from my own shit. So,
oh, holy shit!
Good. There you are.
That was weird. Oh, we switched spots.
What happened? Did you get raided?
No, my internet just like hiccuped. So
you got maps in the wiring over there.
But it was amazing. The whole thing has been so fucking insane. The last thing I was saying, I don't know where I got cut off, but the last thing I was saying was the fail rate on hair follicle tests for cocaine is 35%. Yeah. Across all ages and populations is actually higher amongst kids. False positives, false negatives, it's not a reliable test. And there's tons of information as to it not being reliable. My biggest problem with it was that we never got to fight it at all. But hey, why didn't we get to fight it? Because the government was happy with it just being out there.
Yeah, I seem to remember something in California where they kicked it out. They took it out of rotation in LA because it's racist. Because the test is racist against black people.
Horrifically racist.
It actually is. Like,
yes.
Yeah, it sounds like Cali.
A black guy and a white guy who do the same amount of cocaine in their hair, the black guys will test way higher. So they had to take it out.
Yeah, and
they should take it out everywhere. It's totally bullshit. The hair shit.
A black person tests on average 4.5 times higher levels than a blonde person when the exact same amount of cocaine is ingested in controlled tests. So if people don't know how they do this, when they do controlled cocaine testing, they actually do intravenous administration of cocaine to make sure that the amounts are stable. They use medical grade cocaine that they get from specific laboratories. This is all figured in because they have different types of cocaine testing. I've had to read a lot of cocaine testing, shockingly. They do different types of.
You don't believe the amount of dumb shit happening out here in the name of equality? No, I believe it. I believe it.
But when they do the scientific testing on the hair follicle studies, they use a specific grade of cocaine that they get from specific government resources.
It's like how you can go in and vote, and you don't need to show any ID or anything. You just need to exist. You're just allowed to. You're just allowed to vote.
People may not realize this, but the measurements of cocaine in tests are consistent amongst body sizes as well, because it's the weight of cocaine present per weight of the hair, not weight of the person. So when you have like some tests like blood alcohol and shit, it really is heavily dependent on the size of the person. A bigger person can have more alcohol in their blood, and it's a percentage. But on cocaine, it's the weight of the hair. It's 1.5 grams of hair. No matter who it is, they use the same amount of hair to do the test. So when they do picograms per milligram.
Oh, I heard about that one with the knowingly exposing others to HIV. That one's actually fucked.
They're unreliable tests entirely, and that. So when we found out about it, the first thing we wanted that
literally biological warfare, man.
There was no fucking way.
They should have wanted it redone. Like,
I thought we outlawed that shit.
Adult and say, oh, one of these kids tested positive in the hair. Like, let's just run it again and see. That's probably obviously bullshit.
Oh, and lots of people make a big deal about some metabolite. the metabolite that was found, because people are like, oh, there's a metabolite. It's actually called benzocagnine. Benzocagnine. It's a weirdly pronounced thing. And it's the one metabolite of cocaine that actually is created outside of human bodies. It's a cocaine metabolizes outside of human bodies and into this metabolite. It's pretty.
Modern people ask who radicalized me without realizing they did.
Coethyl Adeline,
I agree with that.
which is like cocaine and alcohol mix, and then there's neurococaine, which is a different metabolite. None of those were found on the test.
See, my black pills were like mid 2010s and shit.
The sole metabolite that was found was the metabolite that occurs outside of the human body.
Might sound touristy, but of course, with the advent of like the Trump era of shit,
papers on it now.
Wasn't really politically cognizant before then.
If you hear follicle test cops, all cops will test. Any cops that do drug work will test positive for several drugs on a hair follicle test.
Yeah. So, what are we doing? Are we testing money? Are we testing cops or not? Like, it's such a stupid test.
Oh, it's insane.
But that legal mindset assured me that I didn't know what I was talking about.
We're finally getting into the legal mindset portion of the stream. Can they play a clip from his show so I know what he says?
Because he can see in two different
dimensions.
Yeah, 2 dimensions. He can read a book with one eye and, keep his eye on the charts.
I really hope his Passport Bros business is going well, where guys can go learn to be a Chad from that weirdo.
Oh, wow.
Have you seen that? Like, he has a whole, like...
No, I haven't seen that. Is that real?
Yeah, he's got a
Somebody
thing.
said he ran like a sex tourism website or something.
It's a Passport Bros thing. It's not sex tourism, dick.
Oh.
How dare you?
Listen, the only reason guys want to travel to another country is for sex, whether it's to fuck their wife or fuck a poor woman. So,
well, he teaches guys who are unsuccessful.
Best part is all this shit he's spouting. Need a professional come in and explain it. Being a drug addict doesn't mean you can argue that.
Sex there.
Well,
could have Ralph as his lawyer.
They are very fat here. Women are very fat, the fattest almost in the world in America.
Dumb fuck judge. Your Honor? Your Honor, Kane was a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I know, and
he's a lawyer, bitch. He said it was legal.
How big was your child service lady?
She puts the big government.
Coming like in Jurassic Park. We're sitting there. Oh, honey, I don't know when child
so the
service
time
on the coffee.
Time is probably below 120.
It's not. No,
eat something quickly.
I said she puts the big in big government.
Oh, okay.
Bogovich says, "Hey Nick, I always thought you had a greedy nose, but 26 grams, damn." I was told today I have small nostrils.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, that's what I was told. I was like, no one has ever accused me of having small anything nose related. They're like, no, you have really small nostrils. I was like, huh, yeah. It's interesting. Yeah. Wait, what were you saying?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
I remember my first dance, something like that.
Would you like to know more?
Yeah.
Let's see. Lance says, still can't believe the pigs planted drugs and made you wear that gay patch. Again, I've never actually accused anyone or alleged that anybody has planted anything.
You did.
It's up to the
you
state
did.
to prove
you said that without saying
possession.
that.
I mean, that's what they have to do. So.
Oh my God! I'm not even gonna. I'm not even gonna fight it.
Who?
I know what he said.
Of the substance and was in possession of it to the exclusion of others.
These guys think that like DUI lawyers are saying like that the cops poured a bunch of liquor down your throat and then tricked you into. What do they think? What do they think court is exactly?
Yeah, he alluded to it. He suggested it. Oh, he didn't directly say it, so you can't pin him on it. It's the legalese that he himself is so familiar with.
I really hate you, man. I don't know why. They just.
Well, they still think I'm definitely. Witty McGee says definitely alleged. Find the clip, man. I didn't actually ever allege that. I talked generally about why you don't consent to searches. I've had that same position for I think the past 5 years, consistently on video. You don't consent to searches, not because some people are like, well, what if I know that there's nothing in my house, car, or whatever? It's like, it doesn't matter what you think you know. You don't know. Someone like
I never said that. I learned it from Mr. Medicare. And Mr. Medicare, for as much as we love Jim, Mr. Medicare, that's such a reputable source of information. He was my source for that claim.
Seriously.
That was a slander.
Had something And
He's
like, they had done
still
some confiscation or
deliberating that
whatever,
case,
and they
right?
drop it, or
Like
it falls
that
out of a pocket,
didn't have a
and
conclusion
they
yet,
don't
right?
notice, and then suddenly it's yours, and you're having to fight about it. You don't consent to searches because you don't want to foreclose that defense.
Yeah.
And the reason that it even gets brought up is because people say, "Well, no, I know I don't have anything." No, the trick is you
Don't waste
never
their time, then, man. Make the cops go on a little scavenge, like just make.
Yeah,
them
I would imagine
file
this
shit,
is higher
keep them
priority.
out of other people's hairs. Just don't embolden them.
Yeah, just don't. You don't have to say yes. Like, you have a right to say no, and they're gonna search you anyway. Just say no, though. Protect yourself. Why the fuck wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Well, it's gonna look better. It won't. I promise you, it will never look better to consent to a search, ever. If they're searching you, they already think you're doing a crime. They think you're doing a crime, and they're going to be looking to arrest you. Let's see. An honest doubter says, could they have blank your kids while they had them? Dose them. I guess dose them. They have a syringe there. Again, I'm not going to say.
You don't have to dose air. You just fuck up.
Let's just say, it seems that there is actually an explanation, and that explanation will be raised at the appropriate time. The appropriate time is not on the internet right now, but let's just say that has kind of come into the picture.
Oh.
Which is nice to finally fucking find out. Let's see. Cheddar says, childless cat ladies in social services are the last people I would trust with children. Same. Also, welcome to lawyer status. Low Watermark with a huge chat earlier. Thank you, brother. He says, wait, you mean Kiwi Farms might actually be wrong? No, they would never do that, would they? No, Kiwi Farms sets themselves up to never be wrong by having a self-reinforcing hug box. They say,
oh yeah, this definitely isn't a hug box right here.
See, we said this back then. It's like, well, we
Hey, my favorite hug box is my
one
own.
person said one thing.
You're all in it with me.
For everybody on Kiwi Farms who said there was that I was never getting my children back and would be going to prison forever, there was one person who said Nick will probably get his child back.
Not true. They don't hug.
Their
They point
children
penis
back.
tips.
They still think I'm a scumbag, which is fine. But he'll probably get his children
But
back.
wearing the ball, though, of course.
They need like you to also die. They get so whipped up into a frenzy.
Dick
that
is
they need
Dick
you
is
to-
using Drex's ball though, because Drex isn't there anymore.
For lol
Just borrow it.
People who are just totally oblivious to life and openly challenge like reality in a funny way. But there's a limited supply, so they try to pretend that everyone famous is this weird degenerate freak that has no recognition of reality.
When it's awful. It's funny because when you talk about Kiwi Farms, if you talk about anyone without specifically stating a user, but you say some people on there, they go, no, that's everybody. You're now talking about everybody, but you're not trying to. But there are people on that forum who legitimately project. This is what I was saying, the myopia of poverty. They project their circumstances onto everything. And these people have a basic disconnect with reality. And it shows up over and over and over again. I mean, because just the way they portray life. That one guy was so fucking funny. He's like, how could you even not have food around for kids? Like, well, there's shitloads of food. Like, guys, I spent more on food last year than most people on Kiwi Farms make annually. There's food. There's tons of food. The whole hunger thing was legitimately fucking retarded.
I spill more on spill liquor than you do on new shoes, baby.
That's all recorded too, but we'll get around to it. That was a lie.
Man.
That was crafted.
Okay.
But and yes, I've prove it.
How are you gonna retell this? How are you gonna possibly you gotta write a book?
115
right?
still is an S. Holy shit! I gotta master
It's
this.
gonna be fucking something. That's.
Oh, you
I don't know
have
if
to
it's
shove it in Maddox's face.
but no, see, but he's like, look, you just get some nori, and you get some hearts of.
He really
palm
does just bring
noodles,
up
and I'm
Maddox
like,
all the time,
something
impromptu,
about
huh?
Having food on hand for kids. He's like, you just throw it all in an air fryer, and you just have it around for kids to just eat.
What
It's like,
the fuck?
it's like,
Bro, you need fruit snacks and gummy snacks and Annie's pretzels and bunnies and all this fucking shit. What are you talking, you fucking
food
weird
kids
fuck?
eat.
Yeah,
It's
cereal.
like, but this is the thing. It's like this person does not cook for children, and that's fine. Why would you, unless you have them? But it's like, so they're like, look, this is how you do it. You just get these cheap meals. You go to Costco and buy a 100-pound bag of rice and just rice cooker up some stuff, and then the kids will just come around. They'll just scoop up and they'll hand roll their sushi. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, homie? Like, no child on earth does this. Like, they just eat.
Stay away from the neighborhood.
But they have this myopia where they're like, oh, this is how life is. It's like, no, this isn't how life is for most people. The Kiwi Farms people don't realize that when
There
people
it
are like,
is.
oh, you guys aren't
There
like
it
other
is.
girls. It's
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. S rank in all challenges. Where's Saru? Where's Saru? Where's that little skeleton punk bitch ass? Sarah, wake up! All S ranks. That's right. You better get Ralph on screen. Let's fucking go, baby! And it only took, well, did the VOD split? I was gonna say how long we were live. We'll just say an amount of time. And hey, Super Strange Times, we're catching it up with Nick Rekieta. Okay, the VOD did split. We'll say 2 hours. 2 hours, 12 minutes. Now, I know you're thinking, Dingus, congratulations, and hello, Beater Knight. You're thinking, congratulations, Dingus. You did what DSP cannot do. By the way, since some people may not know, not only is DSP not getting all S ranks in this game now, which I just did, DSP is now not even completing all challenges. If he sees a legend challenge, he has said he is not doing it. What a coward. So basically, like this one, Mario Master, where you got to complete the whole game in one sitting, he said he's not doing it because it's too long. This Metroid one, just look at this Metroid one. It's the final one. All you have to do is climb. He said this one takes too long. He's not gonna waste his time on it. It's not even that long. Look at it. Look at it. Easy. 36 seconds. No, I'm not gonna do it. This Zelda one, do all of the first dungeon. He said, nope, 1 minute is too long for me. You probably won't even do this one. Do one full game of Donkey Kong. 1 minute. Too long for the king. I think he said he wasn't touching Excite Bike ever again, and he doesn't like Balloon Fight. I don't know what his stance on Kirby was. But yeah, once again, I and Cerulean achieved what the guy could not. Yeah, the King of Retro has been passed on. The title's been passed on to me. We are now the Ding of Retro. Yes. All right, so there you go. All S ranks. I did all the championships for this week and survival mode for this week. Oh, look, this didn't appear until now. So, oh, that's pretty neat for people who don't want to get all S ranks. So this won't appear if you don't have all S ranks, but if you do have all S ranks, then it appears. So if you want to just fulfill your completionist autism without getting all S ranks, you can do that. The game will just say you've got all pins. They'll just keep that S rank 1 hidden from you until you unlock it. Fortunately, I don't have enough coins to unlock the rest of the pins. Maybe I'll do some more weekly championships when those become available, because I think that's how you grind a good amount of coins. Because just doing the regular challenges only gives you like, what, 5 to 6 coins for each successful attempt if it's a short one. And we got the Legendary Trial. Legendary Trial, the Marathon. We got DK, Metroid, Mario 2, Balloon Fight, Zelda 1, Ice Climbers, Mario 3, Excite Bike again, Kirby, Kid Icarus, Lost Levels, Zelda 2, and then Mario 1. There's no way I'm gonna get S rank in all of these. But let's give it a try.
It's not an endearing thing. It's like, oh, you guys aren't like other girls. Stay away. You're fucking weird.
Yeah,
you're weird.
Everything they say about like the kids in general and like what you're fucking up on. I think I might have seen that one. Like, this is how you cook for kids. You got to go down and get some mackerel packets at the dock. Bro, what are you talking? You don't see that shit on TV. You guys need to watch some sitcoms because your behavior is aberrant at best. It's really fucking weird.
Yeah, and they have no. And I get it. Like, if you're not in, like, if you don't
first
live
level of that.
in the life of having children or in a community full of like parents, you wouldn't know. Why would you? You're just cooking for yourself or your boyfriend or whatever, and that's fine. But like the whole like cooking for children's like, yeah, you just get some hearts of palm noodles because they're high in protein. It's like, holy fuck, dude, what kind of what are you talking about? You have white bread, peanut butter, and jelly like that.
You know, they have
Okay, I'm already fucking
3
up.
times a day. Maybe 5.
It's so fucking funny. And then someone's like, but then other people are like, you said you didn't read your threads. Like, well, I don't until something fucking retarded happens and I have to go and look for it. And like I have to see what's going on.
But what do you consider regarded?
It's like, oh, okay, this is what everybody.
It sounds like you read your thread all the time.
And then I see this post about cooking for kids, and it's like, dude, you shouldn't cook for adults, much less children. Like these kids would never eat in your house. But the whole children being hungry thing, it's I alluded to this earlier. People think that a conspiracy against you.
I gotta reconnect to VNN.
Thing that involves like
got
all these
disconnected when I
levels
lost
of
internet.
government and like some big motivating thing. But it really is as simple as one person doesn't like you enough to just do their job poorly.
I will say this.
Big ups on alert, heavy metal gamer.
It's a half truth that gets told. It's one lie, one place that can tip things into motion that you then are paying to fight. And it's unreal how it happens. And like I said, thank God, all of it's recorded. It's all fucking recorded, and I have all the recordings. It's just not the right time to do any of this. I have a court case that I have to do.
Well, it's like there was some stat came out, or it did the rounds. I think last year where the murder conviction has dropped from 90% in like the 50s to like 50% now, and people were saying, "Well, what's wrong with cops?" Like, no, we were just like convicting a lot of innocent people.
You just
like,
didn't have DNA back.
Yeah, that's all. All of that was a conspiracy. All of that was cops going like, "Yeah, I don't really like that guy." Like, yeah, he looks bad to me.
And it was literally like they just.
It's like our natural state. It's people's natural state to conspire and, you know.
When we get stuck in how information travels now, and you don't realize like that in the 1950s, when they still had party line into the fucking 80s. The party line, for those who don't know, is in rural communities. It was expensive to run phone lines out, and way more expensive than the phone company would get for running the phone line. So what they would do is they'd find like a farming community, and they'd run one phone line out to a hub in this farming community, and then like 5 houses would share the same phone line. And so if you picked it up, like in your house, when you picked it up and your mom was on the phone back in the 80s, you would hear your mom talking. But back in the 80s in rural communities, you would pick up the phone and your neighbor Jim the farmer was on it. Like that was going on. The party line existed into the fucking 1980s. Technology now, we're unfathomably different communicators now than we were in the 1950s. And so when you try and think about how they solve crimes and how they investigate things and what they're able to look into, policing is so wildly different and in ways more thorough. But also there's a flood of information. You have a signal to noise problem that's going on. But back then, man, there wasn't a way to challenge the fuck up either. There wasn't a way to get the word out if the cops were maligning you or framing you. You'd never know, because what was he going to do? A letter writing campaign from the county jail or the prison that he was in? And they tried that. They tried that. They tried to send letters out to be like, please, congressman, talk about this when you get your 3 minutes of news time on that newfangled public broadcast system. There was no way.
Yeah, one of my old laptops would work like that. I don't know how.
Like, hey,
like if it was just a part of the laptop or one of the apps that it had downloaded. But sometimes you would like turn on the microphone and then you would hear phone conversations going on from within the house.
For his disorderly conduct charge, because
probably something I had enabled. I can't remember what the hell it was.
Yeah, I did see
Like,
that one. And did you see the college girl that was just yelling the
mid-2000s.
N-word as she was getting arrested?
No.
She was like singing it like I'm gonna tell, as the kind of cop was like, please, like, don't make me do this. She was saying it over and over again.
It was the one guy, like I read his thread and I was like, okay, homie, look, I disagree with anything that starts with the words hate crime. And I think the hate crime aggravator for the sentence for disorderly conduct is wrong. Because I don't think he targeted the person based on their race, just because he said the N-word. However, the actions that he described were disorderly conduct.
Oh, okay.
Like,
The
it's
phone
like,
sex must have been
dude, it
wild
wasn't
back then. I don't know what you're talking
just
about,
that you said
man.
the N-word. It's that you literally caused a disorderly scene in the store by your actions. Like you're confessing to the crime. Now I'm standing with you that, and I'll say that, like, I mean, I don't recommend yelling or like saying the N-word in public, like, especially like as a white guy to a black guy, because these states will do this, but I will defend your right to do it, I guess. Like,
Yeah, we gotta have like an N-words across America day and get it all out of our system.
Wasn't that the Million Man March? Fucking hell.
More though, more. Millions.
2 million man march.
It's got to go outside of Washington, D.C. and Baltimore.
I didn't know they were allowed outside of those places. Azriel Bain says, hey, Nick, I was playing around with an AI music creator the other night. Told it to
Hey,
make a
just
song about
LC.
you. It might be a good way to make some new tunes for the channel.
What's the
Send it to
N-word?
your
Yeah, it's
inbox
neighbor.
if you want it. I'll check it out. I saw it in there.
Remember to
Nick
be a good
Rye
neighbor to
says,
your
"Why are you
neighbor's
wearing a
neighbor."
sweat patch if you're free and clear
Hey,
on Kids'
neighborino?
Days?" Because I'm still under the watchful eye of government, dude. Like,
As you should be.
I still have to remain clean. It's amazing. The thing that annoys me is I have to remain clean of alcohol, and there's no allegations of alcohol
Because
being
that's legal.
involved in anything.
And it's way worse and more harmful than all the other drugs.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty fucking bad. Seize the Day says, continued thoughts, prayers, Nick and Dick's graying for you. I think he says praying for you. But Joe Moses, hey, Nick, just got here. Who's the homeless man? That's me.
Yeah.
Rauji Mata, Robert Gouveia, one of your old friends, have been milking your proceedings without all the facts being out. Guy should have stuck to Disney and VTubers. Gouveia's, I haven't seen Gouveia's coverage of it.
What's his name?
Robert Gouveia.
Oh, that's his whole name? Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
he's his channel is called Watching the Watchers.
Oh,
But he's actually a pretty interesting dude. He watches I mean, he hates cops. Like, that's
okay.
He's like his
Based?
channel's about
Question
checking
mark?
government authority and stuff like that. He's a lawyer down in Arizona or New Mexico, I can't remember.
Okay.
But he's pretty good. Yeah, guys. should
Yeah,
stuck
I'm
to
trying
Disney and
not to hit
VTubers.
the
That's
hammer.
user
I forgot
mindset.
what the
That's not
route
Robert
was.
Gouveia. So I think you might have people mixed up.
In those new Mario versus
Magnum
Donkey Kong
North
games,
says,
you
yeah,
can
it seems like a setup to
push a
take down
button to like
YouTubers when the government is involved.
toss the
We'll
hammer
see how it
away,
plays out, of
but
course.
not the
Stay
case here,
vigilant.
obviously.
No, wait. Are you talking about my case? State.
You got me like Spoody over here. Don't tell me how to play.
Again, these conspiracies are that some people believe it. They're really big. I'm trying to tell you, you don't need conspiracies are not that fucking complicated. Coov says, "How is that guy?
Don't worry,
able to
I'll get the
access
hang of
internet
it.
with that conviction?"
The problem is the
They
other
just let
12
a guy
minigames
like
that lie
walk
ahead.
free after a dishonorable discharge. I think he did He did 23 months or something.
Oh.
Coov says, "Remember when Null called into the Dick Show? Pepperidge Farms remembers."
Yeah, that was fun. Then he got all
bad.
butthurt that Digibro made fun of him.
Yeah, it's funny. I found out where I went wrong with Null. I've pinpointed the moment.
The shower
Who
texting?
did you not hate?
It's better than that. You know how Null loves black people, right?
Yeah.
There's this weirdo chick on the farms, Melinda Scott. She was the Jewish magicianess, the mountain Jew.
Okay.
She did like Jewish Kabbalic magic or whatever, and she like to make her uterus work, and she has like a ton of children.
It's normal to
all these
see
different
yourself as a girl in
Her
porn.
sort
Like
of
self-inserting?
husband or boyfriend, Marshall, he had like challenged me to a fight because that's what.
Shouldn't it be the
that's
other
what
way around? You
hilarious people do.
self-insert as the
He's
dude,
dead
self-inserting
now.
into the
He
lady?
died. But while he was alive,
kill him?
No. Yeah, I think he killed himself, which is sad.
Oh.
But I found this out just randomly. While he was alive, I had Drexel on the show. And Drexel was talking about, I think he had talked about the previous time on the show that he would be asked to do cuck shaming.
That's actually
Like,
S ring. Holy
when
shit!
he was with these
Maybe it
guys'
was
wives,
130
the
for the
wives.
time then. Okay.
Him make fun of the husbands.
Like that. Yeah.
Well, so I asked Drex if he would cuck shame Marshall, who was
The
this
Nolan,
Melinda Scott's
Nolan's axe
boyfriend
breakup
or
stream.
husband
Okay.
or whatever. And he said, "Sure, bring up."
I
a
believe you.
picture
I
of
believe
it."
you. That sounds
So I
like
brought him
sounds
a
like something he
picture,
would
but
say.
I photoshopped Null's face onto this.
See yourself as the girl getting fucked.
So Drexel,
Dude, he doesn't like getting made
Interesting
fun of.
analogy.
That's what Digibro's making fun of him too, and he fucking melted down. He's been seething. He seethes about this shit for years.
Yeah, this
It was
isn't
the
seething though.
funniest
When you
thing,
spur
'cause,
out like that,
Drex
Dax,
felt
that's not
really
seething.
bad about it, 'cause I
That's
was
you
like,
being
"That's-
funny
that's-
because
that's
loud
actually
equals
going hard,
funny.
too." And I was like, "That's not actually Marshall. That's Josh. That's Josh Moon. I was just making. I was doing a joke.
Oh,
I was a bit." He's like,
God.
and Dre's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, man. That's cold." Like he felt bad about it, and it's like he just
That's
made
not
fun
us.
of Josh that he had soft eyes and like a pancake face or whatever, and it was the funniest fucking thing. But I think that's where it all went downhill.
Yeah,
it was
yeah. If
after
you make
that.
fun of him, you're dead. He's like that billions
Steve,
must die.
I'll just
guy
do it
with
all and see
that.
how many of
there,
them
and
I
it's
can
like,
get S.
It eats away at him endlessly in the back of his mind, and then he starts framing you negatively. It's so fucking funny because you could go back and trace the downfall of my relationship with Null to that joke, and I was like, that was a funny joke.
Oh man.
Okay, here we go. Yaroslav Blashchuk says, "Love what you do, knows. Need help to lose 30 pounds? Shame me, it just works." Oh, you need help to lose 30 pounds? You need help? Why don't you try just crippling depression so you don't fucking eat anymore? Just stay in bed for a while. Let all that fat seep out in your bed sheets like you already do. Just don't squeeze them into a bowl and use it to cook your eggs in the morning. You disgusting slob. I hate fat people.
Yeah, if you're gonna get out of bed, be skinny.
Is that why he sees at the
Otherwise, stay
casino?
in it.
Was it the line from American Psycho? You can always be thinner.
Yeah.
Why are women so fat? Though?
Bro, like there is so much effort being put into dating and men and women and like everyone's pretending on both sides. Like men are pretending like they have the answer for why you're not getting laid, and women are like, well, this is like is it because of me too? Is it because of this? It's like, because 70% of you are like
huge,
overweight,
hideous,
and 50% of you are obese, and 20% of you are the size of a minivan. You're like totally, you're fucking disgusting. You're disgusting. You're disgusting. You should be ashamed to go outside, and yet you do. I don't know what can fix that.
I don't know.
Does this count as a Ralph sneakness?
It's awkward. I think about growing up in the 80s.
Can Kamala fix it? Is she gonna come out and say, "And these bitches are too fucking fat"? I'll vote for her.
No, she's trying to do price controls on groceries. She wants food to
That
be
might
more
help.
accessible.
That might help. No, Nick, if she starts doing price controls on groceries, we're gonna have bread lines.
That's true.
These fat chicks are gonna have to get out of their car and drive to Starbucks and wait for 3
That
hours.
was
for
such a
their
tough second
7,000
stage.
calorie frappuccino. That's gonna be good.
I do think it. Just observing women over the years, I think it boils down to snacking being the key difference. When you ask a guy what he eats during a day, unless he's a fat guy, if you ask just a normal sized person what they eat during the day, they'll tell you the meals that they ate.
Yeah.
And they might also say, yeah, and I like him while I was running around, I grabbed a Snickers bar or whatever. Like they'll throw it in there. Women will be like, oh, I didn't really eat today. And what they mean is they didn't eat a meal, but they sat down and had an entire bag of chips. They went through just half of one of the parade bags of Tootsie Rolls.
Yeah.
And then, for dessert, they had, exactly. They had at least 2 Starbucks, which are 700 fucking calories each. Like, well, I didn't really eat anything today. It's like, well, you just ate processed sugar and a shitload of it. Like, you just drank it. You took it like a pill.
It's their compulsion to spend money that makes them fat. Like, I think it's kind of the same weird hoarding or consumption addiction they have. They have to spend money, and they have to eat all day, and all of society caters to this illness, this mental illness that they have.
And there's two types of people. There's fatzos who realize that they're snacking, and then there's fatzos who don't. And the second one, those are the people that get huge. But if you have trouble losing weight out there, cut snacks out of your diet. Because I know you're snacking. I know you are. You know how I know you're snacking? Because there's not room between your fingers. It's obvious that I don't know how I got this big. It's like you didn't get that big with one slice of pizza and water retention. You got that big with one slice of pizza, water retention, and again, like 5 coffees, 16 cookies, sitting around with whole bags of chips just disappearing into a void. You wonder why you have like just fucking garbage you're just eating all day. You just
Stop
don't
DoorDashing. Stop the door dashing.
Yes. They don't even have it out there.
Donuts don't need a taxi ride.
You shut your fucking mouth. Whenever I go to a big city, I do have donuts sent to my room. I get a hotel because they don't have donuts out here. Anyway, Heather Reed says, Nick, did you vote in the last election? Yes. Any good results? No. Are you just getting more Muslims in your government there? Yes. Saw Ilhan Omar was reelected. Yeah, well, I mean, she's secured. Tenji says hashing is a good idea. It gives you an output that can't be reverted back to the original. So
I do not remember the layout for Zelda 1 there.
Good idea, retard. The government's been doing it for decades. That's the fucking point. No, it's a great idea. Someone's already done it.
Layout for Kid Icarus as well.
Exactly. Speaking of already done it, I have to do something here.
Sure.
Fucking hell. I can't do that one. I gotta have a quick word from our sponsor. It's a returning champion
Baldo?
I haven't seen in a while. The Birch Gold Group. Hold on, this will be good.
Oh, is this me? What is this?
What's the bit here?
In the middle of the ad.
Oh, you got kicked out. That was me. I thought you went to like an ad, like a shill zone or something.
I did. I went to the shill zone
with a QR code.
Less ads for me.
Doing gold ads.
It's all over their face. I love gold ads for the Birch Gold Group. They're my favorite. They're the only non-Jewish gold group in existence. Instructions. Please read URL as birchgold.com/rumble. Please announce IRA as initials IRA, and 401k should be pronounced 401k. They have
Like
a pronunciation
the Irish
guide.
Republican Army?
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
Okay. We recently had some monumental news that no one is talking about, not a soul. For the first time ever, the interest the U.S. pays on its debt surpassed every individual budget item
I
except
fucked up the
Social
ordering for
Security.
that.
That's right, guys. You can't escape it. That thing's going to be there. That's right. The U.S. now spends more on interest than on national defense or even Medicare, and it's only getting worse as big government continues to spend recklessly. That's why savvy Americans are turning to gold. Something not tied to the inflated dollar. You can never mind. You can too help. You can too help with the help of Birch Gold Group. For over 20 years, Birch Gold Group has helped tens of thousands of Americans protect their retirement savings by converting an IRA, not an IRA, or 401k into an IRA in gold. To learn more, go to birchgold.com/rumble. Get a free no obligation info kit. That's birchgold.com/rumble on diversifying your retirement into a gold IRA.
Big tricky orangey with the
Birch Gold is
Podoboo
earning
there.
trading with the BBB, and thousands of
called
happy
Podoboos.
customers. Protect your IRA or 401k. Go on birchgold.com/rumble to get your free info kit on gold today. Thank you to Birch Gold, returning advertising champion. I'm so happy that they're back.
Wow, that's cool.
Get your IRAs converted to 401ks. I love that they told me how to pronounce those. Arclight says, get it right, Josh. Dick is an unconvicted pedophile. Come on.
And sometimes you just get fucked by the enemies like right there.
You just gotta boot the pedophiles out. I mean, you might lose a little bit of money if you, well, what am I saying? You're gonna lose a lot of money if you kick all the pedophiles out of Kiwi Farms, but you're gonna feel better.
Lord of the Kino says, Nick, you use SSDs for long-term storage. Stop that. Okay. Blazecast says, if you seek out and compile a thing that your ex-wife said you acted out IRL to their younger sister, it might have been true. What? If you seek out and compile a thing that your ex-wife said you acted out IRL to their younger sister, it might have been true. Changing the subject to save all of our stomachs. Thoughts on GW raping my Blood Angels best unit? Oh, did they change the fucking rules on Blood Angels? Damn.
Is it a riddle?
I don't know what the first part was.
Oh.
If you seek out and compile a thing that your ex-wife said,
You wrote it
acted out
down on
IRL.
Friday, and you left
There you
on
go.
Friday. But you only stayed for 3 days.
Oh, Friday was this horse. Or his Toyota Yaris. I don't know what this thing is in. I don't know what this is in reference to. Ex-wife said you acted out IRL to their younger sister. It might have been true. Oh! It's about the Jason Close guy. He was accused of raping his wife's younger sister.
Oh,
And so
yeah.
then he says, if you seek out and compile a thing that your ex-wife said you did, so the child pornography.
Vito got banned when he made an
There was
account,
a riddle.
really?
Oh.
He's saying it might have been true because of the
Oh,
child
based.
pornography that he raped. the
As it should
child.
be.
Oh, it's definitely true. I mean, yeah, he got away with it. Good job.
It's not convicted, Dick.
Yeah.
SG says, why do you maintain your...
Oh my
SG, why
god.
do you
What
maintain
is
your
with these
bar membership?
enemies?
I'm not a member of the
Leave it
Minnesota
alone.
Bar. I maintain my lawyer's license because. Also, you forgot to include material limitation when I asked you to define unwaivable conflict. Tard. Hope you get suspended. Sorry for breaking down
Oh, it's still less ring?
unwaivable conflicts into an obvious
Big ups.
digestible thing.
Made an account, it was
SBH
found, no
says,
banned
"Shout
him
out
for
to
being
the
a
people in the
clout
chat
goblin
that
who wants
reuse the same
attention.
jokes
That
to
tracks.
really stick it to you. May they continue to waste their time, and best of luck, Law Pope. Hey, thank you.
I love when
Nicola-
people tell me my own name as like a burn. I'm like, I know that's my name.
Oh wait, you're
My real name. I'm like,
fake
yeah, I
name.
know that's my name. I don't know what you're. I don't know. What are you showing me that you remember my name? I mean, yeah, okay, great.
Yes. Nicola Maxwell says, Nick, you're looking very pink today. It's the lighting in the shirt, probably. White guy problems. Glad things are on the up for you. And
Well, I would take that
for you, the
more,
family press
Dax,
you all.
as like,
Thank you, Nicola, very much
the
appreciated.
suggestion that they're
Squid
not
says,
going
"I'm
to play by
making
your
accusations, but
rules, like you
mindset
want
shows
to
a
be
country
called
live
Dick
where it's super common
Mastersons
for
or calling you
low-class and
Juju's a
North Korean
cow or
refugees or trafficking
Dax
victims.
Herrera.
And also, that's the only job they can get in South Korea.
Oh. It is odd for a guy to move to. Where does he live? Legal mindset?
Korea. Well, he was in South Korea, but then I heard he was somewhere else. I don't know. I thought he was still in South Korea.
Maybe his eyes. One eye's in South Korea.
One eye on the Pacific and one eye on the Atlantic.
Yeah.
SG says, did you get advance written waiver before repping April? Oh, it's this thing. Fun. Death Trout says, my grandparents had a party line well into the 80s. There was a high school kid down the street that would just breathe on the phone with his girlfriend for hours.
That's awesome.
Hot. Steven Crater says, sorry about rant stats. Rumble must have changed something. I'll submit a fix this weekend. Hey, thanks, brother. I really appreciate that. Bogovich says, hey, Nick, what if you don't eat snacks, but your meals consist of going to buffets and drinking troughs of butter? Is this an effective weight loss strategy? Actually, I'll say it. Yes, that's more effective than the snacking all day. Because your body will stop allowing you to eat at a buffet and drinking troughs of butter, but it will not stop you from snacking for 24 straight fucking hours.
Yeah, and you'll shit it out before like turning it into fat if you eat it all at once.
Kimmy Joe says, Robert hasn't been saying anything about you, Nick. I didn't think so, but I mean, he's welcome to. Everybody's welcome to comment. It's just, it's a shame when some people who could have had actually information that would help them comment more.
He says they're welcome to comment. I take that the same as I wish you $1 million. Where if he had his way,
Like,
would
that
prefer
becomes
people
weird
not
things
to
for them
comment
do,
on
but-
such matters.
Riley Leifson says, sending thoughts and prayers for you and the fam, Nick. Thanks. You're looking good and healthy. Keep it up. Let the childless, lonely haters hate. You got this. Thanks, brother. Koof says, don't forget he broke up with the Dick Show after Riley bullied him on Discord. Hashtag free Riley.
Yeah, he Null got all upset because Riley and Digibro were making fun of. Oh, right, yeah. Riley said Riley was making fun of him. He was like, "No one wants you here," so he threw a big tantrum and left. And then said me and I was giving orders to Riley and Digibro and Ralph. I was giving them like I don't know what kind of orders, meme orders. And then
Dude,
Riley and Ralph got in a fist fight, and Null was like, okay, well.
Oh, which was fun.
Remember that these people are this retarded that you pointed this out on Twitter. I think Legal Mindset was reporting that I sent the Kiwi Farms pedophile back in time to set up. Like, I sent the pedophile back to request the data, even though, like, the guy hates me. He's never been positive about stuff. Apparently he super chatted. Someone said he was a frequent super chatter, and they showed a screenshot of one $2 super chat.
There you go. Case closed. Walleye case closed.
But it's like
Legal Mindset's eyes went one arc further that day.
They always do this. It's like, well, there's some conspiracy that must be happening. There's something that you must be doing. It's like, okay, like, so
I'm not a loser. Dick must be telling everyone how to make fun of me. It's not me. No, I'm not a giant fat loser. It's just Dick's instructing all these people how to make fun of me and hurt me at the same time. That's what's happening.
The other thing with this myopia, where they like live and die on this forum, and so they believe that everybody like is concerned with that. It's like, okay, guys, I had a family services case where the state had taken temporary custody of my children. Now I have a felony case also. These were running parallel. What I did was I found a registered sex offender, got him to sign up to Kiwi Farms 5 years ago, make a bunch of negative posts about me so that I could then get him to request the body cam footage or the search warrant or whatever. I could get him to do that to then prevent Null from having access to the trial streams that he hadn't asked for yet. That's what I was doing. This guy made
We are
the
not
request
getting another
while
S rank, but what if we
I was in
did?
Jail. Like,
So Constantine, if you got a minute or two, yeah, go ahead and link it.
And he had this whole plan set up. I've seen that fucking shit, man. That's easy to do. You could easily do that.
The level of guys, I can't do a stream on time. The level of foresight and planning that it would take to organize a registered offender as a gay op while I'm in jail.
No, a G-op, not a gay op.
G-op. Is that Korean for gay op? Like, what is that?
Maybe it is. I don't know.
But it's like the level of foresight and planning involved in that, I have a demonstrated inability to do. But that they're like, he must be trying to own the forum. It's like, I didn't need to. The pedophile was in the building.
Letting a pedophile run rampant on your site and get awards and shit from your community, that was what actually did you in, Null. That's what fucked you up on this one. Letting the pedophile on the site and then having mods that would just not ban the pedophile, that as it turns out, that's what did it.
It's like that I literally laughed when it came up, and someone said
because he runs that fucking Twitter like he's a news organization. Oh, this is the Kiwi Farms news Twitter. Like, no, it's just your account. What are you doing? Like a black news anchor.
He's transparent in that being that being his account.
Actually, Nick,
I don't think he doesn't lurk like that's not his account.
And it's like the funny thing, when I got that message, I was like, by the way, here's the first guy's registered offender, and it said Kiwi Farms. I said, of fucking course. Of course. Because reality is funny. Like, it happens that way. Guys, here's the hard thing.
It's like, who did Kyle Rittenhouse shoot? Pedophiles. Oh, wow. Huh.
It's not like Kyle had, he didn't have like some perception of like picking out the pedophiles. It's just that there were so many of them.
There's just so many. Yeah.
It's not a coincidence that the first requester on Kiwi Farms was a registered offender. It just wasn't a coincidence at all. An honest doubter says, I meant, could the government have given COVID-19 jabs without permission? They tried to sneak that in. thank God, again, I'm a lawyer, got that taken out. I did not allow any vaccinations of my children.
All right, let me pull this up.
Because they do. They want.
I am a half hour behind. I might not even finish the live stream today. Yeah, let's go ahead and pull this up. Relevant starts at 1628. Yeah, Ice Climber seems to be notorious for you going through ledges. Jumps are very iffy. The magazine noted that too. The little fake magazine portion they have you preview before you do its final challenge. It's like, oh yeah, be wary. It's like 2 different kinds of jumps. At least they warn you about it. Okay, 1628.
Alive. He has nothing to give anyone. He is a threat to children and a complete fucking waste of everything else that he consumes.
I assume this is about Digibro.
There is value in all life. Like, there is value in everyone's life. Digibro, I don't know what happened to him, but I don't understand.
You would not hear Dex argue this in good faith today.
He was using Lolly very infrequently, as he says, to put himself in the mind of the small girl. Like,
he
pornography
openly admits that he's a pedophile, and I don't believe that. I do not believe that he wants to be the little girl. It's just bullshit. It's like it's a nonsense fucking argument. You don't fantasize about being a 3-year-old girl being raped.
Yes, you do. You don't think anyone themselves in the more often than not, when people are watching pornography, they put themselves in the mind of the submissive person. Like, it's not, you're not watching a point of view. It's not like Ralph's sex tape where you're the guy doing the filming. You're watching it and you're hypnotizing yourself like in a movie. Like,
shot on an island of quicksand, apparently.
It's the first time I've ever seen a C rank.
You're experiencing when you watch a movie.
Yeah, I think Digibro's the one that transitioned.
Because you are putting yourself into the position of the character. Like, I don't understand how you can say definitively it's not that way for all
untrue. You need at least one character you can associate with, but you do not have to.
There are those little degenerates, the littles who they are into that weird age play, but I don't believe Digibro. I don't believe that. That's an excuse. Like, Digibro's not into that. It's just a cope.
That's not true. That's not reality.
It is messier than you think in your brain, and I'm not saying yours. I'm saying in people's brains when they're watching pornography, they are like it's like a movie's got to have a good bad guy to win because you kind of want him to win. And then you're happy when he's beaten. Like, the human mind is not as simple as you're making it seem, I don't think.
But do you see what you're doing?
And Sean is just there staring all the while.
You have to put yourself into the shoes of a pedophile, and people listening to that will pick up on that. You can't do it. That's why I say it does not matter how you feel about him as a friend or as a person, if you feel bad for him or not. You cannot associate with an open pedophile because it will always look bad on you. And normal people.
He's not an open pedophile. He openly has looked at Lolly and enjoys it. He's not a fucking pedophile.
That is pedophilia.
It doesn't make you a pedophile.
It does make you a pedophile. If you are attracted to, if you watch yaoi, if you watch gay men fuck each other, you're probably gay. If you masturbate to anime foot, you're probably into feet. If you masturbate to anime children, you're probably into children. This is not complicated.
What about lesbian porn? Let's go. Are you a fucking lesbian all of a sudden?
What aboutism?
Are you putting
the people most into lesbians are cutting their fucking dicks off and becoming lesbians, dick. Yes. People into lesbian porns are fucking weird.
So watching 2 chicks get it on with a double-sided dildo makes me a fucking trans woman now, no?
Yeah. Yeah, I think people into lesbian porn are weird.
The confidence, the utter confidence in the way he says, yeah.
Lesbians, yeah, it's fucked up, it's weird.
Yeah, you are fucking weird.
I got news for you. The guy driving a truck across the country right now identifies a hell of a lot more with watching lesbian porn and not being called a chick.
I mean, if they do watch that, it's because they want to get in on it. You watch a man fuck a child and you're thinking, oh, I gotta squeeze on into that. You're still a fucking pedophile. The whole fantasy with 2 lesbian women, it's like, I want to have 2 chicks at once. If you want to have a guy and a little girl at once, you're still a fucking pedophile.
So
you're
now
just a more fucked up one.
When it's lesbians, it's not what meets the eye, you're saying. It's something else. But when it's
there is no way that you can spin a child being raped into something that is not pedophilia. It is not possible.
It's a drawing. It's a drawing like video game violence, like satanic music. It is an
But
artistic
studies have been done on
representation of
video game
something that is
violence
meant
that
to
suggest
appeal to
that
something
it
deeper
doesn't
than the
lead to
literal elements
violence.
of your mind. It's a drawing. It's art. That's what it is. Now there might be overlap. The stats and the Japanese stats around this suggest otherwise. But if you seriously want to keep kids away from pedophiles, keep them out of school because that's where it's happening. If you,
I agree with you. Homeschool
your
kids.
your wife is a school teacher.
I agree with you. Homeschool your fucking kids because the public school system is a fucking wreck. But I mean, that doesn't matter. That's a deflection. Who gives a fuck about the public schools? I'm talking about the people
Oh shit! I overshot the
in your
jump.
house and who you have as friends on your show and who you're booting off other guests to make room for who masturbate to children.
I didn't boot you off. I don't give a fuck how big anybody is. I never told Riley to boot you. And by the way, you had a number of falsehoods in your video
Yes,
about
you
me.
have a number of falsehoods.
Mint salad. I don't know why everyone fucking cares about mint salad because everyone wants to raise her like their own dad. She was already living out of her house. She was 20 years old when I ever talked to her for the first time about her parents being insane. She had already left the house. If you don't think me encouraging a 20-year-old to leave home is a good thing, then I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, there's context to that. You had her, you encouraged her to disavow her family or her parents. Like, it's one thing to say you encouraged her to like make it out for herself, but that also involved you telling her to disavow her parents and cause like internal family drama.
Get back at people they don't like. She was already out of home. She was 20 years old. I didn't do
Nobody
shit,
is using me. Unless Cameron Clark has a fucking hand up Riley's ass making him talk, nobody has used me.
Riley and Mint are both kids. They're having fun. They're driving around America doing their tour. Look, Riley runs his fucking mouth and drives people away from the show. So did Dustin. So does every single person who ever tries to help with the show. It's constantly me getting involved and saying, stop antagonizing people. Just fucking stop. If you want to antagonize people, go to another server and fuck with them there. But it sounds both ways to me. Like you're calling Digibro a fucking pedophile? You don't think his friend is gonna tell you to go fuck yourself?
Because he is a pedophile. The majority of people who listen to this are going to believe that a man who masturbates to pictures of children being raped is a pedophile. You cannot. It's an indefensible position.
It's not pictures of children. It's drawings. You're saying it like which would you rather have on your phone? If you got stopped at customs, would you rather have actual child pornography or drawings of it?
Neither.
I'd rather not be a pedophile and not have child porn on my phone.
Good answer.
Good point. You won't answer because it's a good point. Because
no,
you know goddamn
it's a complete bullshit statement. Which would you rather have in your bag, weed or cocaine? Like, I would rather not have fucking drugs in my bag.
But if you had to pick, see how easily I can answer that?
Pick because I'm not a pedophile and I don't have this shit on my computer, Dick.
It's not experiment though, isn't it? If somebody put it on your computer, which would you rather have?
Would Dick still argue this today? But like to this emotional degree? Like I feel like even he doesn't even believe what he's spouting. Like this was fed to him by Digibro? Like he got prepped beforehand?
Yeah. I mean, if I had to.
Like would he even make the same argument today?
Posted a sex tape.
It's a hypothetical with no connection to Digibro being a pedophile.
Yeah, it all just comes out as like just peak dishonesty.
No, it shows that there is a difference, and you know what the difference is. That one is art, that one is a drawing, and
Rob's kind of the same way. He'll argue shit he himself doesn't believe in, but will act as if he does believe in it to make a point.
Not get pressed as much as it could be does not mean that it is not illegal. It definitely is. But I don't find the issue that, I mean, what is the argument now that because it's not illegal, it's not immoral? If the law was that if you, I mean, the law's been wrong all the fucking time.
I feel like I heard this live. This may have been one of the Mad at the Internet episodes that I listened to while on the clock back in the day.
A religious doctrine and basis for modern morals. It's not. If the law said that child rape isn't rape if you wear a silly hat, you're not going to say, well, he's wearing a silly hat. He can't be a child molester. He never got convicted. That's fucking stupid.
The law, I think, should try to protect victims. And in the case of drawings, the victim is the artist.
Sure, I agree with you. I don't think it should be illegal. There's several reasons why that I'm not going to get into, but I do believe that people who masturbate to children being raped are pedophiles.
It's drawings, though. You got to say the drawing part.
People who masturbate to simulations of child pornography are pedophiles. There, I threw in the word.
I mean, they can imagine it. Like, you can't stop them from just picturing it.
Sure.
Well, that's what he's
but
saying.
I'm just saying that his indication that he does do this is in fact proof that he is a pedophile, and that his girlfriend or whatever the fuck she is also a pedophile. It is.
And it doesn't. But that also doesn't mean that he would ever act on it with a real. And that's the
does
line
not matter.
I make.
First time Sean is chiming in there.
But I don't care. I don't want to know these
Probably should
people.
have
I don't
stayed
wanna be
quiet,
around
to be
these
honest.
people. I don't want to associate with these people. I don't want to associate with people who associate with these people who are into sexually attracted
You have
children.
every right to feel that way and every right to do what you want to do to make yourself comfortable. That's exactly what. Whatever you feel like you have to do, that's what you have to do. It's your life.
The only thing I want, the only
Sean
thing
like
I had
the
a
good
problem
cop
with was
here?
the inaccuracies that I told Riley to say. That I told Riley to say these things because I didn't.
Hey,
I didn't
Target
tell him
Mask.
shit. I never would. I never will. I just say, hey, can you post? The only thing I ever tell Riley is, hey, great. He's got a guy. Awesome. Here's the Discord link.
Thank you for introducing Kino Casino. Ashton is awesome. Big ups. He's not everyone's cup of tea, but glad to hear you like him.
I'm sorry that you don't want to associate with me anymore because I like your calls.
Yeah, I mean,
listening to a debate between Kiwi Farms owner Josh and Dick Masterson.
I feel really fucked over by this, to be honest.
Well,
because I mean, when you, I didn't even mention, but you brought up the forum. I didn't even touch on that. The whole thing about going and instigating shit with the forum, it directly puts me as a point of contention between my own community and you, and accepting money through New Project 2. That really fucked me. Your stupid fucking Twitter account.
Ah, yes, New Project 2.
How did it fuck you?
Because it made all the bullshit that these fucking people spun look plausible when suddenly, after they're making fun of you, you're going to the forum, you're arguing with the forum saying like, oh, this is full of A-logs. These people should be banned because they're using the forum against you.
I don't think they should be banned. Whatever you want. I just think that I do think that they're A-logs. I do think that they want harm to come to the e-celebrities they don't like. Enough of them. An A-log is somebody that wants to hurt the cow, right? Not milk the cow, but hurt them. Like send them to jail.
A-log was a specific.
No, A-log is just a synonym of trolls now. Thank you, Ralph.
Got overly angry at someone who they really weren't that much better than, and I don't think that fits the definition. I think that people,
DSP collabing with Pippa Pipkin. I don't think that's going to be happening. But what if it did?
E-celebdom is that you want to see people fall. There's very few people in the internet famous board who you're just like constantly laughing at.
Well, that sounds like splitting hairs, but I kind of don't really see how it's a problem that you can't just ignore people in your forum that don't like the way you're running it. Isn't that what you tell other people to do?
Because that's my support base, and if I lose that, I lose everything that I've held.
I understand that. I don't know,
Now,
man.
Dick ran out of arguments.
I thought, can we agree that that the sex tape was funny?
Oh yeah, I'm very happy that Ralph decided to humiliate himself, and I hope he gets completely fucked over by it. I guess that makes me an A-log by your definition. I guess I'm A-logging Ralph right now by prognosticating, by doomsaying. But yeah, I mean, it's what's funny is that I called it, and everything that he did to fuck himself over, he could have avoided by not doing anything. And I'm telling you in the exact same way, close your fucking Twitter account. Post your links to your shows. Stop having these arguments, because whatever your humor is does not translate into Twitter. Your shit does not work in Twitter. It can be interpreted in 10,000 different ways, all of them negative.
I understand that. I hear your concern. I think Ralph. I hope he lays off the booze a little bit, because I think that's what brought him down. That's what's causing him grief. Not necessarily keeping his mouth shut. But I guess we'll see.
Whoa, the Ralph was sneak this.
I'm gonna keep trying to draw a hard line between fantasy and reality, because
I mean, I can understand the argument, but I can't empathize with, like, yeah, these are the people I want to have around me. I just can't.
Well, you don't even have you don't even have to really justify that. Like, if that's again, it's your life. And when
you can determine the quality of a man by the people that he associates with.
Yeah, try that with Jesus. How did that work on him? It's criminals, and I'm fine trying to help these people. I don't care what people think of the guys I hang around with. And you of all people should know that, running what would be considered one of the scummiest sites on the internet.
Yeah, and I eat a lot of shit for it, well deserved, but I do not associate with pedophiles because I know, well, number one, I don't want to. Number two, it's you cannot thrive with something that toxic. You just can't. I hate the word toxic, but it is a humming radioactive element just sitting in your front yard.
Yeah. Do you host Lolly?
I did for a while, but after I closed, specifically because the people who were posting on the Lolly board kept posting child porn on the main board. During my break a couple months ago, I told the people that were next in line, I'm like, you can either pull this shit off my server now, or I'm closing it until you can, because I'm not doing this anymore. It lasted about 2 months, and I will reiterate that the people who posted the child porn posted the lolicon. They were the same exact demographic. I have no doubt whatsoever that Digibro has looked at, sought after, kept masturbated to actual pictures of children being harmed. You cannot convince me otherwise.
Well, you should be careful making those claims about people. If they it just might get you sued. That would be if we're giving unsolicited advice to each other, that would be my advice to you. Pump the brakes on the pedophile accusations. The truth is an absolute defense for defamation, and I believe that a judge will look at the fact that Digibro openly admits to being attracted to Lolicon as proof that he's a pedophile, and will rule in my favor. I hope it doesn't come to that. I hope none of this would come to this. I wish that you and Ralph had made up on that show. I think he was hurt.
They made up a couple times afterward, but Ralph kept burning the bridge.
Move forward. I'll miss you, Noel. I hope you come back someday.
Me too.
Yep. Take it easy.
Bye.
See ya.
Wow, what a breakup that was. Thank you for that, Patrick. I haven't listened to that in shit since the day it aired. Oh, they've wrapped up for the evening.
Going well, Nick, but hope to see you on Biggest Problem in the Universe after you get through this shit.
I think we were 30 minutes out.
Mainly on my schedule's really fucking.
That's the last time they spoke live.
Frederick Little says, "Hope Drex can come back soon."
Yeah, Gersh always cites that stream when he brings it up on Matt at the Internet. But again, I haven't listened to it since it aired.
Like decided somewhere that I lied to him about something that is nebulous, and
yeah, good throwback. Good throwback.
Oh fuck!
And it's like, dude, so I don't even know what he thinks I lied to him about. Not sure, but it's like, okay, well, all
now
right.
he's just like in his emotions. It's too much.
Guess,
Stuff.
I don't know.
It's too much. Like
I definitely didn't recall that argument he had that you were bringing up. You see, you put yourself in the position of the submissive one.
We'll see.
The girl.
It's like I wish he'd just if he just talked to me, I could probably clear up whatever he thinks. Like I get it. I get it. If he thinks that that I said something that was not true to him, that didn't happen. But Heather Reed says that we have a trial happening now in Nevada about a local corrupt politician, Robert Tellis, who's accused of murdering a reporter who was writing about him. Would you cover it at all? Could be interesting. Ooh, maybe. I don't know. I can't.
Hey,
right now I can't
I
commit
saw
to
Dreading
doing
on
any of
that.
Coverage because my
Dreading did a video on that guy. It's very insane.
Says, take my money, you lol cow trust fund baby fake lawyer. Okay. Billy the Kid Lawrence says, hey Dave,
He's not a fake lawyer, he's just a YouTube lawyer.
Provide updates on Nick's situation and then getting too busy. Happy your kids are back, Nick. God is good. All the best moving forward. Thanks, Billy.
Oh
and
yeah,
Coop
that guy was really. He was sending me a lot of messages about your updates. That was nice of him.
Koof says Null admitted to being unable to do one push-up. No, he didn't.
Belted.
That's not true. I refuse to believe that that's true.
I'll keep that in mind, Kapathic.
He was always going I don't understand why Dick says it's.
I've learned so much about Dick and Nick, really. Such a short amount of time.
My cock doesn't work either. That doesn't mean I'm
just get the fairy for good measure.
No, you're trying too hard. Just push the earth down. It's less fat.
Mm-hmm. Do roll-ups. Just do roll-ups. Pick your ankles up off the ground. Use that back. I know you got big back muscles, and do a roll-up like that. You know.
I have seen like really exceptionally fat dudes that can't do like they legit because they're not going to push up 450 pounds, right? Yeah. Like that's. I mean, if they could, they'd be beefy as fuck, but they can't. Yeah. I get it, but like. The last picture I saw in Null, he just.
I watched a COG DSP restream. I was debating watching it. Like that, I was gonna play it yesterday. Then I ended up getting distracted watching other videos. I have not seen it yet, so I can't even tell you whether it's something that's worth watching. Anyway,
and like the body of Roadhog.
Maybe I'll get around to looking at it.
You know,
if the casino themselves don't do it.
Like Jack Skellington arms. Because what does he do all day?
I don't
know. He's making fun of me for owning a truck. Like the most normal thing you could ever do.
But you don't understand. He's in nebulous European country.
Yeah.
He doesn't need trucks there because he doesn't speak the language and doesn't talk to anybody.
I wish I could have an Eastern European truck or like a Hilux or something. I don't want to have a fucking Ford house on wheels Super Crew, but that's the only thing I can buy. Thanks, Obama. He's like, when's the last time he used it? I'm like, I used it last fucking week. I drove my whole family to Lake Powell in my truck.
He can't do.
I'm not all the fucking time.
I always thought you were just like, I thought the push-up thing was just something you asked everybody, like how many push-ups do you do?
I have this remarkable ability to find exactly what to ask. Like everybody with ISOM, what's your favorite part?
Los Angeles inhabitants don't need trucks. They don't need Barbie dream mansions either, but Zeke will insist otherwise.
No, do one push-up. I don't get it. I don't get why that's funny. I don't get why that, like, bro, you can't.
I worked out one day in my life. You didn't. Actually, that's the funniest part. If he claims that he worked out one day in his life, you know he actually didn't. Because he went to the gym and he like looked around and had no plan and no direction and didn't know how to use any of the equipment. It was like,
here, I'll read you his post of working out. I was wrong about it one day. Here, this is like a super autistic post. When I turned 18, I resolved to lose weight. And part of that was me going to the gym literally every day. I forced myself to go for 2 months straight because I was told that doing something for 2 months forms a habit. I never enjoyed it, so I stopped. Every time I've ever...
Do you think he was going to trick his body into being addicted to working out? Like, I was told that 2 months, like doing it for 2 months would make a habit. So I did it for 2 months, but then I stopped. So he was lied to about making that. No, it's like...
Isn't it more to do with like your internal clock?
What do you mean?
Like, let's say you get like new shift hours at work that require you to wake up earlier in the day. What do you like? Set the alarm, set a couple of alarms, wake up at that time, and then just naturally over time you just end up waking up at that time naturally anyway.
It's so fucking crazy. It's so crazy. Every time.
Go ahead. Oh yeah, if you don't know what's like Maddox here, is that Maddox is really funny until you realize that he's serious.
He's serious, yeah.
You're like, oh, this guy.
The gym doesn't give you mental stimulation; it's just boring. You're not the first person I've heard that from.
About society in ways that
I really should go back to the gym. I had a minor revival of going back to the gym last year, but then I didn't keep up with it because stuff just started getting more busy in reality.
But nobody thinks it because you'd be retarded to think it. But Null did apparently.
But when I was going again semi-regularly last year, I would just put on a restream, just something to listen to.
Desire.
Yeah, it's like an arbitrary goal.
Yeah, it's not a compulsion. So like they do this, and for a while you're like, oh, this is great. Meta commentary. No, this isn't meta commentary. He seriously believed he was gonna fool his body into forcing him to work out.
Oh God, I'm at the gym. I had a blackout.
Oh, my muscles are all sore. It must have been when I was at the gym yesterday.
Every time I've ever succeeded at losing weight, my lowest was 185.
DVC for motivation. Ooh. That is a good idea for motivation.
Yeah, and like I can remember what I weighed in high school, which was like 150. So if his earliest memory is 185, that little Chota boy.
You got the machines that have the TVs built into them, but none of them have DBZ
The only
playing.
time I've ever succeeded at losing weight was from diet, combining alternate day fasting, counted calories, doing keto, with no exercise besides moderate city walking. Bro.
Just don't eat. It's really easy to lose weight. Just don't eat.
Alternate day fasting? What the
Speaking of
fuck
eating,
are you
it's
talking
Friday,
about?
pizza
Well, I fast on Tuesday
day.
and I slow on Wednesday.
Since we're talking about Jerish.
Dude, just don't. Guys, it's really. Just don't eat.
I don't eat on any days divisible by a prime number. He's like a nerdy wimpy.
If you eat less. There, you lose weight. If just
Yeah.
eat less. It's that simple.
At my best, I ate 600 calories on off days and 1,800 on days, and I counted everything. No, what the fuck?
No, you're a sedentary slug. You don't need 1,800 calories on your
Sedentary?
on days. You don't
Shit.
even need the average between those.
You're like a fucking anorexic chick, man. 600 calories. So you're eating like he's eating like 6 cucumbers, probably whole.
Cucumbers.
Right? Without chewing them or cutting them, just shoving them down his throat for 600 calories, and then he's binging on a pizza the next time.
Yeah, eating. Okay, look. If you're 180 pounds, you don't need 1,800 calories. I promise. I swear to God, that 2,000 calorie daily recommended.
This rewind
thing,
feature probably
that's not
sucks
real,
the
that's
most
not
for
you.
Mario.
You don't need it unless
It's
you're
like the
doing
worst
something.
game to have the
If
rewind
you
feature
work
in.
like a labor job, sure. You need to eat probably.
They can't
in
even
excess
like
of
rewind
800
you to
calories,
like
but you're just sitting around.
when you were
walking.
a
Guys,
point in the
he
game
went
when you were
for
like at a safe
walk
point.
in a European city.
He could rewind. He could rewind
these are
like
5-minute
moments
cities,
before
so
death.
his light-
Exercise.
Light city walk
2 levels
is
to go.
probably 10 minutes of walking.
You push up.
The S rank should be under 7 minutes.
Stand up. You're fat.
Probably not gonna
Just
get it.
stand
Not gonna get
up.
it.
Work the biggest muscles in your body, which are your legs. Just stand up. You'll lose weight. Stand up.
Do
and
some
sit
wipe
down.
your ass squats. Just pretend to wipe your ass a couple, like 10 or 20 times every day.
So he's sitting there. He's like, "Well, I'm doing this 600 calorie day," but then you're wiping it out with an 1,800 calorie day. Dude, you need probably 1,400 calories a day. Probably.
Yeah, but what about doesn't carrying all the sins of the world take some calories? Doesn't having a big cross made out of the N-word and carrying it around and crying about it take up some calories?
It's like, no, actually, none of them do.
No, shit.
It's no weight lifted. You guys just a lump.
My only meal on off days was a piece of fish, and I'd measure out on a tablespoon of wasabi mayonnaise for it. You
Wait,
can have as much wasabi as you want.
Wait, you had a 600 calorie.
We didn't have TVs and
fish
shit like
with
that back then. The
wasabi
TVs on the wall were all news channels and shit like
Measure out
Dr.
a
Phil.
tablespoon of wasabi mayonnaise for it.
It might go to is a bit more diverse with the channels that they have on. That's tough if it was nothing but Dr. Phil.
Arizona tea with ginseng.
We get enough Phil every day.
It's the one with the Asian lady.
Now you want me to listen to Dr.
That's
Phil?
basically it. It impacted.
You can totally
every
make this
facet
jump.
of my life. Yeah, because
Yeah.
you read like fish.
There.
Oh god, what a miserable choice to
Because you're
eat.
eating fish and wasabi every other day. People are like, get this stinky fat fuck away from me. I did not feel good half of the time.
Yeah.
I had trouble concentrating on work. And it ended the nanosecond the relationship I was dieting for ended.
He was trying to. She's like, you gotta slim down, buddy.
You gotta slim down.
or-
Oh yeah, I'm gonna eat a bunch of fish and wasabi. That's pretty much what you're asking for,
How
right?
he had to be so unpleasant to be around.
Literally the day that the relationship ended, I went out and got fried chicken. I never again fit into the jacket I bought for myself at my lowest. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna shoot myself in the head. I realized to the contingent of men
Going?
obsessed with
A plus, I'll take it.
physical fitness, there's only one righteous path.
And his
and
brothers were on
everything
Dr. Phil like
else is an
6 years ago.
excuse.
Wow.
I don't care.
Personal
I don't do
best,
things I
35
don't
minutes
enjoy.
on the legendary
You
trial.
cannot
At least they gave me
compel
1,000
to
coins
do
for it.
something I don't want to do. I get everything I want with my current lifestyle.
All right, those are my times.
If I didn't,
We only got the
I
S
would
rank
do
on
something
Donkey
else.
Kong. You'd have to be
Besides general longevity
insane,
and health,
I guess,
the
question
only
mark, to get
reason I
S on
can
all of
think
those in a
to
row.
lose weight
Because if you
is that
restart,
people who are not
your run's white.
overweight
You got to do it all
are
over
treated
again.
better in general.
All right, 1,000 coins. What are we gonna spend them on?
listed 3 really good reasons: general
Bro,
longevity,
yeah.
general health, and being treated better are 3 really good
I don't
reasons.
feel
by all
accomplished. I
humans,
feel like I
by
wasted my
everyone on the
fucking
planet.
time.
Besides living longer and living better and being treated better by everyone you meet, what could possibly be better about? Is it
Besides these 3 excellent reasons, I can't think of anything else.
It's not gonna make Netflix any better. I mean, dude, you can just like, you can put socks on without wanting to kill yourself.
It actually does make Netflix better. I promise you. If you guys are fatzos,
Some
out
good
there and you
speedrunners
lose
who already
20
did this
pounds,
multiple
watching
times.
Netflix will be
Curious
better
what
when
actual
you're 20
speedrunners
pounds
think
lighter.
of the
I
game, because there are a few things it allows. Yeah, a few things it does not allow that I don't think they'd be cool with. Like, you're not allowed to do any kind of glitches in this game. If it detects that you're trying to do a glitch, you get rewound automatically. But I think it's like, wow, how would they?
Men and women,
It's kind of cool that they account for that, but it's also kind of bullshit. But at the same time, it's probably for the benefit of the layman who wouldn't know about those glitches.
To be less healthy than possible. I mean, kind of, but it's also because you stink.
Look, I think for like a competition environment, I think it's fair, but I could see them spurging out about that.
And you also, if you want to get with like the evolutionary biology of it, the tribe would hate the fatso because they're a liability who literally can't pull their own weight. They take up more resources. They are less pleasant to be around.
They harbor pedophiles.
Oh shoot, there we go. Beat the whole game. And according to the total playtime, it took me...
If you want to go for any reason, there's tons of
It took me an amount of time. That's not an hour. Is that 100 hours? That can't be 100 hours.
Or had to do appearances. Oh my god, he's...
Oh, yeah, you're right. That is a day. I'm sorry. It's like 3 in the morning. I'm becoming dented with how late it is. At least I did it.
Had to do appearances, be it in court or for interviews.
Wonder what the world record is on getting S rank on everything.
Or base charisma by not being overweight.
I'm just missing some pins, but like, oh wait, no, I got all the pins. It's the icons. The icons. That would just require like countless grinding. Probably something I would do off screen rather than bother you guys with it.
This is the internet's policeman. This is the internet's greatest terror.
I did a legendary trial and the weeklies. They'll probably change. These will change Monday.
Karen du jour of every subject of everything. He's the arbiter of morality. He's the arbiter of proper living. And the guy has a fucking screed about why he's justifying his own lazy fat.
Rock your gut, man.
If anybody out there needs to hear this, you don't have to go to the gym. You don't have to do all this work. You don't have to do anything to lose weight. You just eat less. You're fat because you're fucking fat. You're fat because you keep eating. That's the only reason. It's not because, oh, my diet, I'm not on keto, I'm not on paleo. Paleo and keto make you just
1 day, 20
less.
minutes,
They
and
just
55
fool you
seconds.
into thinking
Well,
you're
I want to
eating
see
better
Dave's
because they
total
constantly
play
do
time
those things.
there.
You're just eating less.
Probably
Just
way
eat
less than
less.
that. He's just not even gonna do all the challenges anyway, so it doesn't even matter.
If I have to go on TV for interviews, I'll eat fish. I'm gonna eat wasabi and fish.
You're gonna stink. You're gonna stink. You're gonna smell like some stinky European fucking fish.
What is their
with
conversation even
Asian
turned
sauce all
into?
over it.
Stinky wasabi and Jersh fat.
Dude, stop. Stop it. Wasabi mayonnaise. Oh, yeah, sure. They Americanized wasabi. How do we make wasabi bad for you? Put mayonnaise in it. There, that'll help the fatsos eat the fish. God,
Hey, honey, I'm willing to fuck you. Can you lose a little bit of weight? Absolutely. I'm gonna eat wasabi and fish, lutefisk, every day.
And you know he's eating the fattiest fucking fish he could possibly
I'm gonna brush
find
my
now.
teeth with garlic. You're gonna. I'm totally on board. I would simply have, the issue with this as a motivating factor is one, I have absolutely no intention to permanently sacrifice my privacy for temporary gain, and two, by the time these things would be on the horizon, it would be too late to actually lose weight anyway.
Wait,
So
what?
not really
How is he
that
sacrificing his
for motivation?
his privacy?
Well, he doesn't want to lose weight because the only reason to lose weight is he'd look like a big fat retard getting interviewed on TV. But he doesn't want to be interviewed on TV anyway because it'd be an invasion of his privacy. And also, being interviewed on TV, he wouldn't have enough time to lose weight, which he could easily do, even though he never has once, and he's the size of a blimp.
Devil Dog Cog says do 20 fork put downs every day.
Dude, the fat brain is so offensive to everyone. Why don't you lose weight? Well, it's a very complicated answer. It's because I don't want to do interviews on TV all the time.
I've never had wasabi. I don't think I've ever heard good things about it. How long did they go on about this?
Total is fat.
See if I can skip around.
How'd you get fat?
It looks even dumb.
Can we move on from
Weird.
wasabi?
That's not charisma. It's hilarious because like fat people are on TV all the time. They're
Oh my god, they just keep talking about fat people.
gross. Well, dude, I don't know, man. It's getting late.
I couldn't agree more. I came and did what I set out to do
Telling me
tonight.
that it's not true, but it's
not
Every day and they're there, so
true.
it's cool. It's really surreal having them back because you don't realize what it's like having the government take something that critical to your life until they do. And so it's great having them back. Wednesday's the next hearing for me, and I'm really looking forward to it because it's like I finally get to
Speak your
start this
truth. I hope you do, and I hope you get mocked
I don't
yet
even
again.
know what Wednesday's gonna look like yet.
It's me listening to these two right here.
Because we haven't
It's
filed
me
anything
listening
or
to
whatever,
both of these
but
guys
and I
for
don't
like
know
2
that we will.
hours.
We'll see, but it's the next step in the process. And since our arraignment on
I think
May
this is from
24th,
tonight.
This is the first criminal.
Don't
hearing that
ask me.
we've had.
This spring
So
cap was
literally
taken by
just
someone
sit.
else.
Just sit and take all this shit. Let the government malign you. Let
He
the
switched so
government, leak
quickly
certain
from hating his
things.
life to just straight
Some
up
of the
hating
things that have
himself.
been leaked are not.
I think he couldn't
matters of
spell
public
right because he
record.
had tears in his eyes or
Whatever.
something.
They were leaked.
Yeah, they're fucking you over big time.
And it's like the kind of looks a little strategic or whatever, but I don't know who did it. I don't know. You
You recommend
can't just
salmon
run
sushi?
around blaming people.
Not
'cause you
really a
don't
fan of sushi in
necessarily know
general.
how
No,
it
I
happened,
haven't
but
gone
the
out of my
cool
way
thing
to
is there's
really
trails to all of this shit, and that all
to
gets
really
be
give it a
sorted out at
chance,
some
we'll
point,
say.
but
The old
had to just
college
sit and fucking
try.
take it until now. And the process starts now on this other thing. We had to obviously get our kids back first. That was a key priority. And
Is your trial going to be streamed?
Please,
I have no
please,
idea.
please, 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 please.
know,
Oh my
it's,
god, please.
It's going to be up to the judge.
I would think they wouldn't because of all the pedophiles that are trying to.
There's
People
that.
are trying to make money off of it. I don't know.
You made money
there's a
off of Johnny
serious
Depp.
issue. So there's a
Made money
rule
off of
about
Kyle Rittenhouse.
pretrial stuff. Like
Made
the
money off
omnibus
the
hearing,
jogger.
Probably not going to be streamed because there's a rule that it shouldn't be.
Right.
That rule exists for a lot of reasons. It's pre-trial. It has evidentiary.
Sushi
issues
House going on.
sometimes
All you can eat for
that they wouldn't want
$35.
to be,
I've not been to
outside of,
Vegas.
that could be exposed to a potential jury, for example, right? Because
Hey, new personal
with,
best.
omnibus hearings, you may be dealing with an evidentiary issue on whether certain evidence will be admissible or certain topics will be able to be explored in the upcoming trial. Well, if you say that these topics can't be talked about, but there's
Was
a whole
Ann that went to
fucking video
Vegas
recording
a
talking
few years
about
back for
those
Evo?
topics, that kind of makes it difficult to keep it out of the eyes of the public.
Carl
So
tells me
there's a
stories
rule
about Vegas all the
that,
time.
the pretrial hearings probably cannot be out there. Whether or
I'd be
not the
hitting up all the
trial will
slots,
be
man.
streamed or not is a different question, because it's one thing to have a publicly accessible trial.
Hey, Flame.
and another
Nah,
thing
it's
to
no
say that the
interview. They're
trial
just
needs to
coke
be live
streaming.
Streamed.
They've
That's
just been
not up
filleting
to
each
me.
other for
That's
like
up
2
to
or
the
3
judge.
hours.
I don't know what the local rules are around it. I know that the judge was actually very pissed off that he said not to record the arraignment and it was just streamed. Like that.
Yeah.
People just did that.
You think he liked that someone shouted the N-word?
And DSP thought everyone in the courtroom should be
Wasn't
fired.
happy about that, actually.
Proverbial courtroom.
It's funny because like a lot of
You
people
should just
thought
fire
that
everyone.
was
Like, no,
whatever,
that's
but
it.
that's
You should all
part
just
of
be
the reason
fired.
That the judge does not want various things out there is because
And big ups to Abu Dhabi.
people just fucking defied the initial order, and so like The judge said, "Don't do this." People did it. And
He doesn't care about his children. Funny you should say that, Flame, because he did get he did get his kids back.
And so
his next
people
hearing,
don't
he said,
realize
is
the
scheduled for
kind of
Wednesday.
impact that shit has. And so courts are presumed to be public, but there are considerations. Like there are potentially minor witnesses that could be called by the state or by us. And if that's the case,
and he looked so haggard and defeated during his arraignment. Like
to protect
in that moment, he knew he lost, and he knew the entire internet was going to watch that and make fun of him.
Or whatever. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that has to go into that. It's not, this is up for my lawyer to work on. The state has a say in it. Obviously, interested parties out there filing their own motions, like Josh, who just desperately wants as much information about Josh is really
He's fucked up though. He shouldn't have fucking sent a pedophile in then. He shouldn't have lied about the fucking pedophile.
Josh cares about the integrity of the court process. That's what Josh is looking for. Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah. But
it's more like he's holding you to your standard about how you previously said you wanted everything in criminal criminal cases to be public and publicly accessible to the public because it's all in the public interest. So I would reason it's literally just holding you up to the standard that you put yourself out there for him. Of course, Rekida's standard back then was a standard that allowed him to do all these popular live streams in which he made thousands off of the names of Johnny Depp, and it's basically being a misery merchant. So like that's what he believed when it was expedient for him. It benefited him to say that because it allowed him to make money off the names of all these people. But he wasn't a misery merchant. No, he wasn't. He was just talking about these cases from a legal perspective. But now that it's his turn, it's your turn, bro. It's your turn. Now that it's his turn, he argues like, oh no, I never said that. You just want to look at my kids, you fucking weirdo. Why are you so weird? Why do you run a forum that's filled with PDFs? Even though it's literally like nobody said that, bro. Nobody said that. You're being the weird one.
The whole thing is like that's a different discussion as to whether the trial itself will be streamed.
Yeah, you're right. He did say that. It also protects him from the state.
The one thing I think that has to be
same argument as to why they record interrogations.
Made public, and I think streamed is like guilty if there's like a guilty plea or something like that. I think that there's a rule that
now, if he says they planted stuff, because that's what he insinuates, that they planted stuff in his home, and that they're also lying about the state of his home, would the body cam footage not exonerate his position, his perspective?
That has to be streamed, but I'm not positive on it. I was just skimming some of the rules today, laughing. Yeah. But it's
recycled. It's a script recycled from Ralph's attacks on the farms.
So fervently after this,
you guys are all PDFs because I said so, bitch. How you feel about that? Anyway.
And then they were going to have to ask that judge or one of that judge's colleagues to do a thing for them later. But you defied the order in the first place. Now, I'm not blaming any particular person. Just look at how the judge looks at it. The judge goes, these people defied my order. He doesn't know who they are. He doesn't know where they're from. He doesn't know who recorded it. He just knows that people didn't listen. And judges' entire lives are premised around people having to listen to what they say. And you didn't. And so now when someone comes along and requests access, the judge has to go, well,
the whole stream has been reframing and deflecting.
No, why would I do that? So
and talking about fat people and wasabi. Two old and grown men filleting each other for 2 hours.
It
ain't even like on a Thursday night. It wasn't even Friday yet when they started.
D. Watt gifted memberships. Thank you. Frederick Little says, any thoughts on the upcoming election?
Look, be all end all. Lesson to be learned from this stream. It's all cope. Deflection. It's the meme of the guy, the Wojak seething, but he's wearing the smug face like he's winning, but in reality he's coping in the Copacabana. This is Rekida in the Copacabana, celebrating hedonism too.
Shit show. Not for tonight though. SG says, any notifications RE disciplinary investigation since raid? Any notifications RE disciplinary?
Yeah, the aim's to muddy the waters so he doesn't look as bad because all the people that go after him are arguably just as worse.
I'm not reading it.
Yeah.
Wow, wait a minute. That's the same argument the casino uses when they glaze fill.
There are no disciplinary investigations related to the raid of my house. They can't do.
Why are you going after Phil, bud?
Before they could really do anything.
Oh, you know, everyone's so much worse than him.
That would be a whole separate issue. One more.
All these other locales are so much worse.
He's always eager to get diet and exercise advice from people. I've told Vito to stop eating about 1 billion times.
Yeah. PDFs are generally worse than a lot of people. Like 99% of people, PDFs are worse than 99% of people. So yes, Phil is above PDFs, I suppose.
God, you even talk.
It's a really low bar though.
You say it's that.
Like we're talking the bars at the floor.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Dick,
congratulations, Phil. You're better than sexual predators and murderers, I guess.
We'll have to talk soon. To everybody out there, hope you have a good night. Peace.
Bye, I still like the casino though.
Check out Biggest Problem in the Universe and the Dick Show on YouTube, Patreon, and
he forgot to promote his own shit. Big
Okay.
ups. And that was the show.
Stream.
Still piss.
Sounds
Boomer
good.
moment.
Here we go. Ending the stream. Go
End
away.
it.
Go
End it. End it. Get out of here. Can't believe we listened to all of that. Look, I gotta be honest, I thought I was gonna rage quit within 10 minutes of that, but we actually listened to all of it, and I somehow feel dumber. I probably could have provided better commentary on that, but I just wanted to let them keep on going and keep digging themselves in the hole that they made. They just kept digging and digging and digging and running themselves into a little corner. But look, you can see what it was, right? Like it kind of just they wore their heart on their sleeves. Is that how they say it? Yeah, they wore their heart on their sleeves. Their intents are clear. I wasn't really convinced by their arguments. Just a bunch of slander and misdirection. And I've been grinding coins here. We got 1,200 again. Okay, so maybe it is possible to quickly grind up and get all those pins. I'll still do that off stream. Let's make an easy challenge and just muck around in it for like 20 minutes. But yeah, I only got the truly expensive icons left to purchase. How about the ones that are 300? This is probably Samus without the suit. Oh hey, it's the bumper. Oh, I bought all the ones that cost 100. Shit. I'm out of things to buy. Oh well. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for playing my game. A much shorter stream than usual. And I gotta duct tape the VOD together because my internet is amazing. But guess what? Nobody can say that I did not get all S ranks now because they're all right there. I have finally achieved the impossible. And it only took a day, 55 minutes, and 21 seconds. I don't know what the idea with the weeklies are. Like, are they just gonna keep doing new sets? Is it gonna... Do they have a set number of rotations and then they're gonna rotate the rotations and just redo the same ones over again? Who knows? I'll keep up with these off stream. And then I gave my go at the legendary trial, but you've got to be a sped runner if you want to do all S's on that. And then grinding off stream for these remaining icons. Other than that, over the credits review, can I even activate the credits again? I can. Ah yes, ladies and gentlemen, what an experience. Now, I do got some critiques, like with Cerulean when he finished it. He gave his thoughts on the game. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. Hard 3 out of 5. I like the concept. However, it needs some refinement. You could have added more games. You've only got 13 games in there. What games could they have added? Where's Dr. Mario? I want to play some Dr. Mario. Where's Wario's Woods? Yeah. I ran out of games to suggest, but I know there's some missing. Where's Punch-Out? Where's Urban Champion? Where's Clu Clu Land? There's so many goats he could have added. Thing is, They had a game like this out before, NES Remix, but the idea behind that game wasn't so much the time trials and the speedruns. I believe it had some challenges in there that were speedrun focused, but the bulk of it was just, you know, remixing the games, like beat Donkey Kong while playing as Link from Zelda 1. So just the remixes like that, and just introducing different obstacles and hurdles and shit, like complete Mario 1, but the lights in the level flicker on and off, and so sometimes you're playing in complete darkness. There's really nothing like that in this game, and I looked at the credits, outside of these literal credits. They got the same developers as NES Remix, so it's kind of the same concept as NES Remix, but more hyper-focused on the speedrunning aspect instead of just the unique challenges. I think overall, I prefer the direction of NES Remix, and I think I would have preferred if they just gave us a return to that game. Now, does this open the door, you guys, to SNES Remix? I think so. I think so. They wouldn't have called it NES Edition if they had no plans for SNES Edition. I think you would have more opportunity with a version of this based off SNES games. So like if you included Super Metroid or Super Mario World or Super Mario Kart, the games got to a point after NES where they were a little bit more advanced, I feel. Can offer more variety in terms of the games offered and the challenges specifically, because some of the challenges like balloon fight, get a balloon *3 for like 3 challenges, defeat all the enemies *3 for 3 challenges, whereas for SNES there's a bit more versatility in what you could potentially offer for a challenge. It's like Super Mario World, you could do like, I don't know, stomp on enemies while on Yoshi, and you can't get off of Yoshi, or eat all the berries, or I don't know, use a shell and hit blocks above you, but you can only use the shell to hit the blocks. You can't jump and hit the blocks. I'm just spitballing here, but you get it, right? The game's got a little bit more advanced to the point where you got more opportunity for unique style challenges. But they got something cooking here, but it's not perfect. I think Seru had the best idea, which is just have it so you can make a challenge editor where you can make your own challenges from the games offered. But that would offer you too much creative power, so we know Nintendo's never going to do that. Can't fathom paying for a speedrun challenge simulator. Nintendo would have to pay me. It's only $30, which it's only $30. That might be that itself might be too steep for most people. Now I got the Pay Pig edition, the Nintendo Pay Pig edition, because you know me. That was like $60, and you get a couple of doodads, a gold cartridge, playing cards that show the game covers for each game included, and a pin set. Now, I'm a sucker for pin sets, you guys. I'm gonna stick it on one of my lanyards right now. And I think some other doodads I neglected to mention. But it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I think they should have included, like, for a collection like that, special edition, they should have included the NES Joy-Cons. My main gripe, aside from everything I just mentioned, would be the controller. Switch Pro Controller is not perfect. When DSP complains about the Switch Pro Controller, he actually has a point to make. Because he is not the only one that complains about the fucking D-pad on this Pro Controller. Anybody who's had a Switch Pro Controller will tell you the D-pad is ass and gives you up inputs when you don't need up inputs. It's ghosting up inputs on you there. So that forces you to use the left stick. But when you're using a thumbstick to play 8-bit games, it works, but it just doesn't feel right. And I think it's not just limited to the Pro Controller, because Sari was using an 8-bit Do controller, and it was giving him the same issue. So it might just be something with all these controllers, or it might be the game or the console. I don't know. I'm not a tech wizard. My problems went away somewhat when I played it wired instead of wirelessly, so consider that if you're gonna buy into the speedrun autism. I would recommend to don't buy it thinking that you'll be able to S rank all the challenges very easily without any hurdles. You'll be in for a rude awakening. But if you're like a completionist in general, just don't buy it. Stay away. Stay away. So you'll be hitting what is this, LNR? You'll be hitting LNR to instant reset challenges all day. You'll hear the beep boops and bops from 3, 2, 1, and you'll slowly but surely be well on your way to losing your fucking mind. But I'm glad I picked it up. Glad I gave it a shot, because originally I wasn't gonna buy it, but glad I did. I can say I banged my head against the wall long enough for me to get all the S ranks in this game. Here's hoping they do a follow-up of some sort. But thank you guys. Had fun. Shorter stream than usual. We'll be back tomorrow, and it'll either be, because we conveyor belted this, as they say. So it'll either be more Monkey Ball, or maybe even some Luigi, because it's been a while since we did Luigi. Well, Luigi, I gotta do 3-starring all the missions and finishing the Boo Hunt. I gotta catch all the Boos. They did still a lot on Mario Maker, but the thing is, they don't like to repeat ideas. So, like, they already did Mario Maker, so that makes it less likely that they're gonna do another game in the style of Mario Maker. They don't like to copy themselves. Everything has to be unique style. Alright, we'll give that a mute. We'll raise this up. And we'll get on and get out of here. Appreciate everyone. Thank you so much. I hope you have a good evening. And it's only 3 a.m. too. I still have enough hours to get some shut-eye. I won't be completely dead in the morning, hopefully. Big ups to the dingas, the dongas, and the swollen __ ones who showed up for this extremely late impromptu stream. But at least I showed up. You can't say I didn't. Big ups to Red Check, Golem, Kapathic, Plane 1, Mr. _ Pun, Beard at Night, Tiger Mask, Sinsakuroy, Super Strange Times, OMG Zelda, Citrus LSC, Fenrir the Unbound, Heavy Metal Gamer, The Lurkers, Almighty Tevin, who's not awake right now, but he's still streaming. He's been streaming for over 500 days. You can go watch him, watch videos. He's got videos playing in the background, I'm sure. Alpha Elite TV, Nadocog, Peaches and Keem, Asagana Sakura, Soft P, Shroomduka, Marked One, Pim Pam, Almighty Goki, Beard at Night, DJ, Filthy Rich, D-Scythe, Nurgle, JC, Cam, Kyungoon, Moitis, Perez, Sweet Bean, 96, Cyphlitis, TRPG Gamer. I missed the stream, but my streak isn't felted. God damn it. See, that's why I gotta stream even later to felt you motherfuckers. Oh well. As long as you're here, Pim Pam. Pim Pam, don't worry about it. I did 3 Excite Bike challenges, got all S ranks at last on all challenges, and then I did 1 attempt of Legendary Trial. I don't think we're getting that all S ranks, at least on stream. That'll be something we can grind away off stream. But yeah, that was the last stream of that, so it's off the conveyor belt. We'll be continuing with the other conveyor belted games shortly, and then we'll play some other stupid games. I really want to play Yoshi's Island because everyone else has been playing it, and I know I've already played it before, but that was the race against Tevin, which I won, by the way, and that was on the SNES version. We're gonna do the GBA version, just to be extra. And then the Toma 1 remaster came out recently too. I think I want to play that on my PS5. Or I think it came out only on PS5 right now as like a timed exclusive, then it drops everywhere else later, but that might be incorrect. Thank you, Kinda Sad with the raid, Party of 20, and Mad Rad with the follow. Behind the scenes, whoa. Question is, where do we want to send you to? Yeah, congrats on the 5-stream streak. Play Yoshi's Story instead. It's a short enough game. I could probably finish that in an evening. Of course, the idea with Yoshi's Story is that you do multiple playthroughs with the different colored Yoshis, right? Okay, I think we're gonna send you off to... Before he clocks out, before he can clock out and send you guys here, let's go visit Ride Drake. But you can go anywhere else. It's a buyer's market for streams to fall asleep to. Just go to sleep. You can go sleep over at Seven's or something. No, I don't think that's how it works, Mr. Pun. I just set that to be like, for variety's sake, you would play different colored Yoshis. Bye-bye, adios, Mimi time. We'll see you when we see you. And if we didn't see you, then we didn't see you. But if we did see you, then we saw you. And if we didn't see you, hopefully we will see you next time. On a stream where my internet doesn't crap out halfway through. If I can see myself in the mirror each and every single day, hopefully I can inspire viewers like you, Rue, too, to see themselves in their mirror each and every single day. The raid message is Raid Drake 331 before and raids Miri. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm getting out of here. All right, copy that now. Copy that right now before he has a chance to run. He's playing Metro? He acts like that game. And don't forget to come back tomorrow, guys. Or don't. It's your choice. And then the music died. There it is. Okay. Bye-bye. Take it easy.